Chapter 446. Alright, let's go. It's getting late, so it's time to go back. Come here and practice on your own for the next few days. When you're familiar with the 10,000 sword technique, I'll check and teach you the silent thunder spear art. After saying that, Lin Li turned around and walked towards the heavenly blessing village. Lin Yun hurriedly followed behind him. At this moment, Lu Ying was standing at the entrance of the Lin family in Tianfu village with an apron around his waist. He looked at the entrance of the village with a face full of anxiety. Why aren't they back yet? They should have been back a long time ago. Seeing that Lin Rei and Lin Yun didn't appear, Lu Ying muttered in his heart. However, in the next moment, two people appeared. It was Lin Rei and Lin Yun whom Lu Ying had been waiting for. Similarly, Lin Rei was stunned when he saw Lu Ying waiting at the entrance. His eyes were filled with shock and longing, but very quickly, Lin Li walked forward step by step. Finally, when Lu Ying's silhouette appeared in front of Lin Li's eyes, all the shock and longing from before disappeared. His heart clenched and he felt a heart-wrenching pain. Tears flowed out of his eyes as he walked faster and faster. When he reached Lu Ying's side, he didn't say anything and just brushed past him. At the same time, when Lu Ying saw Lin Rei acting strangely and was about to say something, he realized that Lin Rei had already disappeared. Seeing this, Lu Ying secretly panicked, but he quickly reacted. Let's go, dinner's ready. At this moment, Lu Ying returned to his usual cold demeanor and told Lin Yun that he was close to Lin Rei's house. Ah. Of course, he didn't know about this scene because he didn't know that when Jean Ling was alive, she had been waiting for her father until she died. Without thinking much, Lin Yun walked into the room. When he saw the food on the table, his appetite was whetted and he immediately sat down to eat. As for Lin Rei, he brushed past Lu Ying and said, "You're in the room." Then, he took out a jar of wine and started gulping it down. Cough, cough. Perhaps he drank too quickly. He choked and started coughing violently. Suddenly, his chest felt stuffy and blood rushed up. Pff, suddenly, he spat out a mouthful of blood. Instantly, his gloomy face became much rosier. Haha Ling, don't you think I'm funny? I know you're already dead, but after seeing that figure today, I really hope that the person waiting for me is you. She could no longer hold it in and burst into tears. Her tears flowed down like a waterfall, drenching her clothes. However, the wine didn't stop pouring into their mouths. Moreover, each mouthful was bigger than the previous one. It was as if they wanted to swallow the entire jar. At this moment, a pair of sorrowful eyes were hidden in the shadows, watching this scene. The moment she heard Lin Rei's words, tears flowed uncontrollably. So that's how it is. As he spoke, the person in the dock retreated, teleporting away. The only person left in the room was Lin Li, who was sobbing by himself. If I could do it all over again, I'd rather be that young man who lost his memories. Even if life is difficult, but at least I'd still be by your side, and not be separated by life and death like now. Pa! The jug of wine in his hand was smashed to the side, and the jug of wine was smashed into smithereens. As for the wine inside, Lin Li had already drunk all of it. Perhaps the sound in the room was too loud. It made Lin Yun, who was eating, stop eating. He stood up with a puzzled expression and went to Lin Rei's room. He reached out and knocked on the door. Knock. 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 Father, are you all right? There was silence. After a while, no sound came out. Then, Lin Yun didn't have the chance. He wasn't worried about Lin Rei because he knew his father's cultivation. Then, Lin Yun turned around and went back to the dining table, eating big chunks of food. As for Lin Rei in the room, perhaps because he missed him too much, he drank too much wine and fell asleep from exhaustion. At this moment, Lu Ying was alone in the spirit fields behind Tianfu village. He looked at the dozen or so mu of spirit fields in front of him, but he wasn't in the mood to admire them. Instead, he looked sad and lifeless as he stared ahead. What's wrong with me? Could it be that I've really fallen for young master? A voice came out of his mouth, but Lu Ying immediately denied it. No, it's impossible for me to fall for young master. I'm a servant and he's the master. Yes, I shouldn't have such thoughts. But after saying this, tears couldn't help but flow from his eyes. He looked even sadder than before. But why am I so sad? If Lin Rei was here, He'd definitely be shocked. Lu Ying's actions at this moment clearly showed that there was someone he liked. Time passed by quietly. The three of them spent the night separately. Lu Ying also spent the night asking himself the same question, but he couldn't find an answer. As for Lin Yun, after dinner, he returned to his room to digest what Lin Rui taught him during the day. As for Lin Li, he had a very good night as well. He spent the entire night in the dreamland that he had created himself. Life was still like this. Very quickly, they had lived in Tianfu village for a year. Ever since that day, Lu Ying felt that his relationship with Lin Rui had become very strange. It was the same for Lin Rui. After that, Lu Ying also waited at the door for Lin Rui and Lin Yun to return. This time, Lin Rui was already used to Lu Ying waiting. If one day, he didn't wait anymore, Lin Rui probably wouldn't be used to it. At the same time, during this year, other than the outburst of hostility when he taught the 10,000 sword technique, there were no other movements. Lin Rui also didn't use any of his cultivation. Aside from taking all kinds of spiritual medicine every day, he spent every day very comfortably. They're back. At this moment, the sky was dark and the moon was high up in the sky. The silver light seemed to have put on a layer of clothing for the earth, making the scenery especially mesmerizing. At the entrance of the Lin family's house in Tianfu village, Lu Ying stood there as usual, waiting for Lin Rui and Lin Yun to return. Let's go. Let's go in and eat. Hearing Lu Ying's words, Lin Rui nodded slightly, then led Lin Yun into the house. As soon as they entered the house, the fragrance of rice wafted into Lin Rui and Lin Yun's nostrils. The two of them didn't say much and directly sat down and started eating. The meal was quickly finished. During the meal, Lin Rui really enjoyed this kind of life, but he knew that it wouldn't be long before it completely came to an end. Yun you've already seen the 10,000 sword technique and the silent thunder spear art perfection, but you can't be proud. Your father, I, only spent half a year to achieve it. After finishing his meal, Lin Rui put down his bowl and chopsticks and looked up at Lin Yun, who was eating. As for Lu Ying, he was also eating leisurely at the side. However, when he didn't hear Lin Rui speak, he put down the things in his hands and started to listen seriously to Lin Rui. I know. I'll continue to work hard. Hearing his father's words, Lin Yun hurriedly nodded seriously. After spending a year with his spirit, the gap between him and his father had been completely removed and they had even become very close. From tomorrow onwards, you'll start learning the Azura spear art. You have to remember that this spear art is a killing technique. Back then, I used it to kill many people, so when I teach you, you have to use it well. Don't have any intention of killing indiscriminately. Otherwise, even if you're my son, I won't accept you and will personally cripple your cultivation. As soon as he said this, a terrifying murderous aura was released towards Lin Yun. In an instant, the originally warm atmosphere became extremely cold. It was so cold that it was almost suffocating. After Lu Ying sensed it, he couldn't help but roll his eyes at Lin Rui. As for Lin Yun, he didn't have the guts to do so. Of course, he didn't have the ability either. Yes, I know. Then, he hurriedly replied with a trembling voice, Yes, father. I understand. In the future, I definitely won't kill indiscriminately. Of course I won't kill less. As soon as he said this, Lin Rui's originally cold face instantly turned into a smile. Haha, good. As expected of my son. You have to remember that you can't kill normal people, but for those who have ill intentions towards you, regardless of whether they're enemies or not, there's only one word to say: kill. Stunned. After hearing Lin Rui's words, Lin Yun was stunned. However, he quickly regained his senses and nodded like a little lamb to show that he understood. Remember, if people don't offend me, I won't offend them. If people offend me, I'll *CK them up. My reverse scale is not to be offended. If anyone offends me, no matter who they are, I'll kill them without mercy. After he finished speaking, Lin Rui stood up and left Lin Rui's room. As for the people at the dining table, only Lu Ying and Lin Yun were left. When Lin Yun heard Lin Rui's words, he looked absent-minded, as if he was thinking about what Lin Rui just said. I really can't do anything about you and your father. Forget it, I don't care anymore. Lu Ying saw that one of them was like this, and two of them were like this, so he stood up and walked into Lin Rui's room. Lin Rui was already used to Lu Ying. The moment he heard Lu Ying walk in, Lin Rui opened his eyes, sat up on the bed, and stared at Lu Ying at the door. Haha, you seem to have some opinions about what I said just now. Lin Rei said plainly with a smile on his face. No, I wouldn't dare. You're the young master, but what you said isn't without reason. Hearing Lin Rei's question, Lu Ying hurriedly explained his thoughts. At the same time, he walked over to Lin Rei's side and placed both his hands on Lin Rei's shoulders to massage him. Although I want Yun Heir to become a child under my protection, En Heir's death made me vigilant. I don't want to lose another son. Chapter 447. Speaking up to this point, Lin Rei's eyes were obviously filled with sadness. Even though a year had passed, Lin Rei still hadn't recovered from the death of his wife and child. However, he was much better now. He wasn't like before where he would cry whenever his wife and child were mentioned or when he saw things he used before. Alright, young master. Hurry and rest. Don't you have to teach Yun Heir the demon spear art tomorrow? As he spoke, Lu Ying removed his hand from Lin Rei's shoulder and stood to the side without saying a word. Nodding in response, Lin Li lay down on the bed and fell asleep. Night always passed very quickly. Before he could fall asleep, it was already the next day when he opened his eyes. At this moment, in Lin Rei's room, Lu Ying was still standing by Lin Rei's bed. His hand was still like before, gently dancing above Lin Rei's head to prevent mosquitoes from disturbing Lin Rei's sleep. A soft groan came from Lin Rei's mouth. Following that, his tightly shut eyes opened. His sleepy look was really adorable. Ying Heir, why are you still here? Hurry and sleep for a while. He wasn't sure if it was because he wasn't fully awake or for some other reason. But the moment Lin Rei finished speaking, his hand reached out and grabbed Lu Ying's wrist. It was like an eagle clawing at a chick, causing Lu Ying to feel a trace of pain. This incident happened too suddenly, so Lu Ying didn't even have time to react. He instinctively wanted to break free from Lin Rei's hand, but he was disappointed in the end. At the same time, he was shocked by Lin Rei's physical body. No matter what he didn't break free from Lin Rei's hand, not even the slightest bit. At this moment, there was a sudden violent tug from below. Plop! Lu Ying was lying on the bed in a perfect position and fell into Lin Rei's arms at the same time. Lu Ying was stunned by what happened in that split second. She never thought that she would end up like this. The moment she entered Lin Rei's embrace, her heart raced and her face flushed from her neck to the top of her head. As a venerable immortal, Lu Ying, who didn't feel the slightest bit of heat even when she jumped into a volcano, started to change color. Beads of sweat rolled down her forehead and directly drenched Lin Rei's arm. Huff, huff, huff. Following which, Lu Ying's condition became more and more serious. At first, his heartbeat accelerated and his body slowly changed color. Now, even his breathing became difficult. However, Lu Ying didn't look upset at all. Instead, he was secretly delighted and the corners of his lips curled up as if he was very happy. Could it be that young master has accepted me? Lu Ying muttered in his heart. No, it must be that young master is still asleep. It must be. That's not right either. Why would I be in his dreams? What exactly is going on? At this moment, Lu Ying's heart was crumbling. He thought of many possibilities, but he felt that none of them were right. Lu Ying, who was in a dilemma, didn't want to think about it anymore. Since it was already like this, he might as well make the best of it. Then, he couldn't help but squeeze into Lin Rei's embrace and get even closer to Lin Rei. Other than the clothes separating them, they were just like a wife. Time passed by slowly. The morning sun slowly shone through the window and landed on Lin Rei and Lu Ying. At this moment, the two of them on the bed were covered in a layer of golden light. It was as if they were wearing a set of golden armor. A soft sound came out of Lin Li's mouth, and then his tightly shut eyes opened once more. Huff! Looking at the ceiling, Lin Rei took a deep breath and was about to get up when he felt something pressing down on his arm. He turned around and was stunned on the spot. At this moment, Lu Ying, who was lying next to him, had his eyes wide open as he stared deadly into Lin Rei's eyes. Their eyes met and Lin Rei suddenly felt a little embarrassed. At the same time, Lin Rei was very confused. He didn't understand why Lu Ying was on his bed and why it seemed like he had something to do with him. That Ying Heir you. Before Lin Rei could finish speaking, Lu Ying got up from the bed and disappeared from the room in a flash. Before he left, Lu Ying left Lin Rei with a warm expression that left Lin Rei dumbfounded. Then he disappeared, leaving behind a dumbfounded Lin Rei. After thinking for a long time, he still couldn't figure it out. Thus, Lin Rei decided to think about it. After getting off the bed and putting on his clothes, Lin Rei looked up at the sky. Since he didn't think of anything else, he went straight to the back of the mountain. Swish, 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 swish. Suddenly, the sounds of swords, spears, and swords being waved entered Lin Rei's ears. With a little effort, all eyes were attracted to that sound. At this moment, Lin Yun was on the other side of the spiritual field, brandishing the myriad sword art and silent thunder spear art. Every move and style was executed smoothly, like flowing water. It was impossible to stop once it was released. Seeing that his son was so hardworking and had so much potential, the smile on Lin Rei's face became even brighter. Although there was a small episode in the morning, the matter of the soul just now had already been thrown to the back of his mind. Clap, 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 clap. Lin Rei couldn't help applauding and saying, "Good, good, good, as expected of my son." After saying that, Lin Rei walked over to Lin Rei's side. After looking at the Fire Stream 10,000 Laws sword and the other low-grade weapon, he didn't say anything and directly took out the Violet Gold 10,000 Laws sword, Changing Wood 10,000 Laws sword, and a top-grade immortal artifact, the Scaled Dragon Spear. Kid, these things are your old man's treasured collection, so you must remember that even if you can lose this gun, you must remember that you can't lose these 3 swords that I gave you. Your old man still hasn't figured out how to use these 3 swords. Got it? After saying that, Lin Rei raised his head and looked at Lin Yun with a trace of reluctance in his eyes. Okay, I got it. Looking at the 3 weapons in front of him, Lin Yun excitedly received them and stroked them with both hands. A happy smile appeared on his face. Ah, good. Hurry up and sit down to refine them. When you refine them, you'll be able to learn the Azura spear art. After saying that, Lin Rei went to the shade of a tree and sat down. He looked at Lin Yun with an envious expression and said, "Ah, the second generation is really good. You don't even need to work hard to get such good treatment. Back then, when I was trying to get these things, I had to risk my life. Every time, I had to put my life on the line and lick the blood off my blade." After saying that, Lin Rei didn't say anything else. After taking a deep look at his son, he closed his eyes and entered the system. The system space was still the same as before. It was dark and didn't have any vitality. Apart from a few new functions, there was nothing else. Oh, isn't this our young master Lin Rei? After not seeing him for a year, you finally thought of coming to the system. I thought you forgot about it. A mocking voice sounded. Immediately, Lin Rei rolled his eyes. He didn't need to think to know that in the system, besides the little dragon, there was only the voice of the electronic synthesizer. Ah, little dragon, don't disgust me. It's not like you don't know how busy I've been this year. I've been waking up early and going to bed late every day to teach Lin Yun some life-saving things so that he won't die an unnatural death like N. Tell me, where would I find the time to enter the system? Lin Rei unhappily said, "Moreover, I didn't say that I wanted to see you. What about you? You also didn't say that you wanted to go out and see me. Do you know how bored I was? You still have the nerve to talk about me? You really have the nerve." Originally, the little dragon wanted to discuss Lin Rei, but he didn't expect to be restrained instead. Regarding this, the little dragon was speechless. Forget it. I forgive you. Upon hearing Lin Rei's words, the little dragon was speechless. Then, he quickly changed the topic and asked Lin Rei, "By the way, why did you want to come to the system? Is something the matter?" "Nothing. I just came in to take a look since I have nothing to do. Also, I'll let you see how much of the hostility in my body has been removed in this year and how many more years it will take for it to be removed." This sentence directly exposed Lin Rei's purpose this time. However, after hearing Lin Rei's words, the little dragon didn't fool around like before. Then, he seriously scanned Lin Rei's body. After a long time, the little dragon finally spoke. "Yes, not bad. It can be said that this year wasn't wasted. The original 100% hostility has been removed by 3%. Overall, it's not bad." Upon hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei felt as though he had knocked a chestnut on the little dragon's head. Only 3% of the hostility was removed in a year, and you call that not bad? You're kidding me. You call that not bad? Why don't you go to hell? A year has passed and I haven't improved at all. Tell me, in this year, Upon seeing Lin Rei's furious look, the little dragon continued to look at Lin Rei with a chuckle. The little dragon's behavior instantly angered Lin Rei. You're still laughing? I at hashtag $. In an instant, Lin Rei vented a string of curses. Finally, the anger on his face disappeared and he calmed down. Haha. All right. Now that you've cursed, you should listen to what I have to say. Xiaolong said to Lin Li in the same gentle tone as before. Actually, 3% in a year is already considered fast. However, you could have eliminated even more. However, when you started to live in seclusion, you suddenly erupted with a vicious aura. Therefore, the possibility of eliminating 3% was reduced to 3%. That's why I say it's still okay. As soon as the little dragon said that, Lin Rei blushed and didn't know what to say. At the same time, he recalled the outbreak of hostility a year ago. In an instant, Lin Rei felt uncomfortable as though he was sitting on pins and needles. Lin Rei swore that he never wanted to experience that battle with hostility again. Chapter 448. All right. Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, the little dragon smiled eerily. This smile reminded Lin Rei of the same smile he always had before he was tricked. Instantly, Lin Rei shuddered and unconsciously took 2 steps back, putting on a vigilant look. In response, the little dragon didn't restrain itself. Instead, it smiled even more eerily. Lin Rei immediately wanted to leave the space. However, the next Lin Rei was dumbfounded. No matter how he tried to control his thoughts, he couldn't break through the system and rush out. In response, Lin Rei gave up after trying inside. Hey, little dragon, what are you doing? He turned around and asked the little dragon with a vigilant look. He couldn't be careless before he had a clear understanding of the situation. Hey, nothing much. The system is preparing to give you a mission, so you can't go out now. It won't be too late for you to go out after the mission is issued. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei was helpless. However, just as the little dragon finished speaking, the cold electronic synthesized voice was heard. Ding dong. Mission. Couple mission. Find a cultivation partner and marry her. F***CK, no way. Before the system finished speaking, Lin Rei exploded. The amount of information about the mission issued by the system was so shocking that Lin Rei couldn't react in time. Yes. This mission is a main mission. You can't give up. Of course, it's not impossible to give up. I think you know the consequences without me telling you. At this moment, the little dragon saw Lin Rei's expression and laughed mischievously. Then, it walked up to Lin Rei to confirm the accuracy and consequences of this mission. Besides, it's not like you don't have a cultivation partner. Also, you woke up early this morning and had an internal look at Luiying. Don't tell me you don't admit it. When he heard the little dragon's words, Lin Rei froze on the spot. His eyes were filled with doubt. He knew what the little dragon was talking about, but he didn't understand how this had anything to do with him. No, little dragon. Explain it clearly. In order to solve the doubts in his heart, Lin Rei couldn't care less about that and immediately asked. Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, the little dragon told Lin Rei everything that happened this morning. Bit by bit, even the details were described by the little dragon. And the most frightening thing was that the little dragon was gesturing while talking. This scene fell into Lin Rei's eyes, but he was instantly dumbfounded. Firstly, he didn't believe the authenticity of this matter. Secondly, he was disgusted by the little dragon's performance. That's right. Tell me, you already did that to an innocent girl. How hard would it be to find a cultivation partner for you? Besides, you didn't even finish listening to the system. This might not be a bad thing for you. To disregard Lu Ying's feelings in order to help him complete a mission, Lin Rei knew that he couldn't do that. Sigh, let's talk about it later. This can't be rushed. Then, Lin Rei quickly threw this matter to the back of his mind. Luckily, this mission didn't have a time limit. If not, Lin Rei could only buy a piece of tofu and kill himself. All right, do as you see fit. The little dragon understood Lin Rei's actions very well and retreated to the side. Ding dong. Mission. Host, please break through to the venerable immortal realm as soon as possible. The time limit is 300 years. If you can't complete it, the system has the obligation to erase you. Lin Ray thought that there was no more mission and was about to leave, but suddenly, the system's voice sounded again. In an instant, Lin Ray was dumbfounded. Besides, after hearing this mission, Lin Ray was completely blind. Becoming an immortal exalt in 300 years. To Linley, he wasn't confident in being able to do so. He knew very little about the immortal exalt realm. How was he supposed to complete the breakthrough mission before the end of 300 years? Damn it, little dragon, are you guys messing with me? 300 years? Why don't you say 200 years? At that moment, Lin Ray couldn't hold it in any longer. As the saying went, leave a way out for yourself so that you can meet again in the future. Damn it. This was the rhythm of blocking his path and leaving him no way out. Haha, as a matter of fact, this isn't a big deal. As long as you cultivate diligently, perhaps it will be possible. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you. After breaking through to the venerable immortal realm, you will need to cultivate the third stage of the Chaos Scripture. Besides, I'm not afraid to tell you that the third stage of the Chaos Scripture is in the reward of this mission. As expected, as soon as the little dragon's voice sounded, the system's voice sounded again. Mission reward. The third stage of the Chaos Scripture, 3 talismans of life and death. Listening to their conversation, Linley really didn't know what to say. Weren't they just toying with him? Lin Ray couldn't decide if he should accept it or not. At that moment, he had no choice but to bite the bullet. Good, very good. You guys are really ruthless. Since it's already like this, why are you still asking me? Why don't you just accept it for me? Having said that, Lin Ray didn't want to see them anymore. He wanted to leave, but the scene in front of him was still pitch black. Nothing had changed. Suddenly, Lin Ray had an ominous feeling. Usually, there wouldn't be a single mission. But today there were 2. As the saying goes, there must be something wrong when things are abnormal. Damn it, don't tell me there are more. Sure enough, Lin Ray's premonition was confirmed. The system's cold voice sounded again. Ding dong. Mission. You must give birth to a son within 3 years. Of course you can choose not to accept it, but... Sigh. At this moment, Lin Ray didn't say anything. At that moment, Lin Ray seemed so helpless. He didn't know what was wrong with him today. Was it a big mission? Or was it April Fool's Day? There was such a big surprise. So much so that Lin Ray wanted to die. Especially this mission. This was simply the time limit of the first mission. He must give birth to a child within 3 years. Didn't this mean that he had to marry a Taoist companion this year or next year? Moreover, he had to have a child. Regarding this, Lin Ray didn't want to say anything. He didn't know what to say. If he didn't accept the mission, he was afraid that he would be directly obliterated on the spot. Okay, system, little dragon, you 2 are really ruthless. I really didn't expect you to be so shameless. You actually dare to play with me like this. Fine, isn't it just getting married and having a child? After 2 days, I'll make you guys dumbfounded. After saying this, Lin Ray felt a little regretful. Part of this sentence was true, but most of it was said out of anger. He was driven mad by the little dragon and the system. However, inexplicably, when he said these words out of anger, Lin Ray secretly rejoiced. However, this feeling was fleeting and disappeared without a trace in an instant. Ding dong. Mission reward. Oh no, I read it wrong. It's not a child, but a pair of twins in 3 years. Plop. The system's words instantly made him fall to the ground and faint. This was because he had a trace of confidence in the system's mission. Twins of a boy and a girl. This wasn't something that he could get just because he wanted it. Wasn't this like looking for a needle in a haystack? Little dragon, I want to ask, now, can I still reject this mission? Lin Ray, who was lying on the ground and didn't want to stand up again, asked the smiling little dragon beside him in a weak tone. No, you've already accepted the mission, so the mission has already been generated. As long as you want to give up, you will be killed by the system on the spot. It definitely won't blink an eye. As soon as the system said this, suddenly, a cold wind rose from the ground. Lin Ray's body slightly leaned to one side, and his fear instantly rose to the extreme. Seeing that things had become a foregone conclusion, Lin Ray could only helplessly accept it. Chapter 449. Ding Dong. Mission Reward. You can obtain the cloning Tao of Heaven art if you don't complete the mission within a certain period of time. This technique is a saint-level technique, and its greatest advantage is that it allows you to create a clone. Furthermore, this clone's cultivation will be as good as the originals, and it will even know all sorts of martial skills. However, there is one thing that the clone doesn't know. What? Lin Rei asked weakly after hearing the reward from the system. However, a strange expression flashed across Lin Rei's eyes the moment he heard the technique, but it was quickly concealed and no one noticed. Ah, that's because the clone doesn't have the support of the system, so he can only rely on himself to solve the problem. Even if he encounters danger, if he doesn't solve it, he will die. At the same time, the original will not be affected at all, but he will be able to sense if the clone is truly dead. Lin Rei had been listening to the little dragon explain the uses and disadvantages of the cloning Tao of Heaven art. Now that the little dragon had finished explaining, Lin Rei finally reacted. Humph, at least you have some conscience. However, if you only give me a cloning Tao of Heaven art, although it's saint level, it's still not my own strength. Look, I don't even have a single attack method in my hands. As he spoke, Lin Rei's eyes were fixed on the little dragon. He pinched his right thumb and second thumb together and made a gesture of asking for something. He looked very shameless, like a hooligan, as if he wouldn't get up if you didn't give it to me. Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, the little dragon covered his face and nodded helplessly. All right, kid. You're really ruthless. You even dare to bargain when accepting a mission. I'm afraid that only you, Lin Rei, would dare to talk to me like that. If he tried to hide it from others, I would have already suppressed him in purgatory. At this point, the little dragon rolled his eyes at Lin Rei and asked, Speak. If you want a martial skill, then tell me your requirements. However, you must remember that my greatest authority is to give you a saint-grade martial skill. I can't give you any more than that. As soon as he said this, Lin Rei was stunned on the spot. His eyes were filled with ecstasy. Originally, he only wanted a venerable level or grandmaster level cultivation method, but the result was unexpectedly good. Moreover, looking at the little dragon's expression, it didn't seem to feel any heartache at all. Regarding this, Lin Rei was somewhat regretful. If he had known earlier, he would have asked for a more powerful cultivation method. But then again, it was not good to be insatiable. Knowing when to stop was the way of the king. I know, little dragon, you're the best. If the little dragon wasn't a spirit, Lin Rei would probably go up and kiss him. Humph, don't play this game with me. Hurry up and say it. Looking at Lin Rei's appearance, the little dragon said angrily. Thunder attribute, saint-grade martial skill, can be used with both spears and swords. As the saying goes, isn't it shameful to be wasteful? Our family has 2 thunder attributes. Moreover, I don't want my son to learn everything like me. His situation is different from mine. Don't bite off more than you can chew. I understand this principle. Hearing Lin Rei's requirements for martial skills, the little dragon suddenly smiled, but his smile was very bitter. You're really not polite. Sword and spear can be used together. Do you think martial skills are transformers? However, although he said this, he wasn't stingy at all. The little dragon quickly took out 2 things wrapped in red light and floated in front of Lin Rei. He said in a very reluctant tone. Humph, this time, I'll give you an extra reward for completing so many tasks. As soon as he finished speaking, the red light disappeared in an instant. 2 golden strategies appeared in front of Lin Rei. Both are thunder attribute martial skills. One is the Free Swordsmanship Manual. It's one of the top saint-grade martial skills. Therefore, remember to take a sword-breaking pill before you practice, because only then can you practice the free swordsmanship aura. The little dragon's introduction instantly excited Lin Rei. He didn't expect the little dragon to be so generous. He didn't do anything, but once he did, he shocked everyone. Lin Rei couldn't help but want to listen to the little dragon's words. He didn't expect the little dragon to be so generous. The second one is also a spear art. You're a spear cultivator, so this martial skill is especially compatible with the martial god divine spear in your hand. It's called Martial God's Tactics. Its power can't be underestimated. At the same time, it's a saint-grade martial skill. No other saint-grade martial skill can be compared to it. Hiss. The more Lin Rei listened, the more excited he became. Thinking that this martial skill would soon be his, he couldn't help but want to go out and practice the martial god's tactics. Don't get too excited. You have to remember that you can't use your cultivation at will now. Only then can you practice the martial god's tactics as soon as possible. Also, you have to remember the marriage. Don't forget that it's already time. Even I can't stop the system from erasing you. At this point, the little dragon disappeared into the darkness. In the pitch-black system space, there was no light except for the light brought by the two martial skills. Ding-dong task. What, there's a task? In an instant, Lin Rei was shocked. As soon as the system's voice sounded, Lin Rei was already dumbfounded. He didn't know why there was such a big task today. This was the first time a girl got on a sedan chair. Ding-dong task. After ascending to the realm of the gods, join a sect. Of course, it must be a transcendental sect in the realm of the gods. If you don't meet the requirements, the system will choose to erase you directly. Hearing the system's words, Lin Rei was unwilling. What was this? Asking him to join a sect, and a super sect at that. Wasn't this a joke? Who would want him when he had just ascended to the realm of the gods? Ding-dong, task note. The time limit for joining a sect must be over 1,000 years. If you quit halfway, the system has the right to erase you on the spot. The second requirement is that after the host joins a transcendental sect, the system will seal the 4 types of spiritual roots in the host's body. Of course, this seal can only be seen by you, and it has no direct relation to your cultivation. However, those who are investigating your cultivation and spiritual roots talent will not be able to find out. Similarly, you can't excessively display your talent in that sect. Listening to the system's instructions, Lin Rei's face became more and more gloomy. If he followed the system's instructions, wouldn't that mean that he would be a cripple? Sealing 1 type of spiritual root? He had a total of 4 types. If he were to be sealed, wouldn't that mean that he would become a cripple without any spiritual roots? At that time, who would let him join a sect? Thinking on the bright side, even if he did join a sect, who would put him in an important position? At most, he would be thrown into the miscellaneous disciple category and be left to fend for himself. As for the tasks mentioned by the little dragon just now, Lin Rei could barely accept the first 3, but Lin Rei really couldn't accept the last one. Wasn't this forcing him to a dead end? Hee, system. Let me discuss something with you. You see, if you seal my spirit root, I'll be able to break it. At that time, don't even talk about a transcendental sect, even an ant-like sect would look down on me. Your task is simply impossible to complete. Can you see if you can seal the 3 types of spiritual roots and give me the thunder spiritual root? There was a moment of silence. Regarding the system's silence, Lin Rei could only feel even more heartache. He didn't know what kind of sin he had committed to meet these 2 things in this life. One was a scammer, the other a scammer. Looking at the silent system, Lin Rei knew that this matter had already been settled, and it was impossible to change it. Immediately, he hurriedly said to the system, "Okay, I can accept this task. But you see, if I join another sect, the Xuanzong sect won't be able to take care of both. What do you think?" Looking at Lin Rei's awkward expression, the system didn't wait for Lin Rei to finish speaking and said, "Okay, I only said that you can establish a sect, but I didn't ask you to be the sect leader. But what you said is not without reason." Whoosh whoosh. The moment the system finished speaking, 2 air-piercing sounds were heard. Between them was a long spear with a 9-clawed divine dragon carved on the shaft. It was vivid and lifelike, and the dragon's power was real. It looked as if it was about to rush out and cross the 4 seas. The moment Lin Rei saw this long spear, he fell in love with it. He thought to himself that he had to get this long spear no matter what. Looking at the other side, there was the same divine power as the long spear. Suddenly, Lin Rei's top-grade celestial artifact set dimmed, as if it was suppressed by the divine power in front of him. However, Lin Li didn't find this strange. Aside from the spear with the 9 dragons engraved on it, the other item was a set of clothes. It was a complete set of clothes, and although it didn't look very extravagant, it gave off a sense of superiority. Even Lin Li couldn't help but feel the urge to kneel and worship it. Fortunately, Lin Rei's mind was firm. Otherwise, he would have knelt down and worshipped it. Phew, not bad. These 2 things are Lin Rei's heart was itching for these two good things. He couldn't wait to grab them in his hands. Well, these two things are for you as compensation. These 4 tasks are indeed a bit difficult for you. Therefore, that long spear is the chaotic dragon spear. Don't underestimate the power of this divine spear. It has the dragon souls of 9 chaotic 9-clawed divine dragons sealed in it. Moreover, the entire spear body and the spear tip are made of chaotic iron, which is thousands of times more powerful than your martial emperor divine spear. However, because your current level is not high enough, the system has sealed it at the level of a middle-grade divine weapon. When your cultivation catches up, it will naturally be unlocked. Hiss. Lin Rei was stunned. The system's answer completely shocked Lin Rei. Looking at the long spear in front of him, Lin Rei's eyes were burning with passion. He wanted to test it immediately to see if this long spear was as powerful as the system said. Thinking of this, Lin Rei couldn't help but touch the chaotic dragon spear. However, just as his hand was about to touch the dragon spear, suddenly, a sense of crisis struck him. Chapter 450. Swoosh. Linley immediately gave up on his desire for the Chaos Dragon Spear and hurriedly retreated. Linley hurriedly retreated. A crescent-shaped wind blade flashed past him mercilessly with a terrifying aura. When he retreated to the side and narrowly avoided the attack, cold sweat trickled down his forehead. The fear in his heart did not lessen. Instead, it increased. As for that wind blade, Linley could clearly sense the killing intent contained within it. Instantly, Linley's anger surged. He didn't even need to think to know that the only person in the system who could do this to him was the system. However, after this incident, Linley was able to estimate the strength of the system. He was terrified, but at the same time, curious as to how powerful the system was. Don't touch it. I'm not done yet. At this moment, when that cold robotic voice entered Linley's ears, Linley was instantly stunned. Although he knew that this was the work of the system, hearing it say such a thing, he couldn't help but be stunned. Humph, you're not allowed to touch it? Then why did you take it out? After hearing the system's words, Lin Rei rolled his eyes at the darkness above him. However, he did not touch the spear again. It was not that he did not want to touch it, but he did not dare to. He knew too little about the system. Therefore, Lin Rei did not have to be stubborn in this matter. All right, time is limited. Let me quickly introduce another item to you. After this, you can do whatever you want. At this moment, the system seemed to be very anxious. It sped up its speech and introduced another item to Lin Rei. This set of equipment is called the Chaotic Inferno. Similarly, it is of the same grade as the Chaotic Dragon Spear. Because your current strength is too weak, I had no choice but to suppress the Chaotic Inferno's grade to the middle grade divine weapon. If you want to see the true strength of the Chaotic Inferno, you have to quickly increase your strength. I hope that day will come soon. After hearing the system's words, Lin Rei felt very helpless. He did not know why the system had to mention that his cultivation was too weak every time it introduced an item. However, Lin Rei could not refute it. In the end, he could only acquiesce. All right, there are only 4 missions at the moment. However, you have to work hard to complete these 4 missions. For me, these are only basic missions. If you can't complete these missions, I won't waste my time. I will kill you immediately. After it finished speaking, the voice disappeared without a trace. Lin Rei was very angry at the system's words. In the past, he had always thought that the little dragon was enough to anger him. He did not expect the system to be added. Moreover, compared to the little dragon, the system was even worse. Time passed slowly. When he did not hear the system's voice again, Lin Rei dared to step forward. However, in order to prevent any tricks, Lin Rei slowly approached the 2 mid-stage God-grade treasures. When he finally grabbed the Chaotic Dragon Spear, he did not feel any sense of danger. Lin Rei was relieved. Hee, I've finally caught you. However, just as he thought that everything was fine, a terrifying pressure suddenly appeared. Moreover, to Lin Rei's disbelief, this terrifying pressure was emitted from the Chaotic Dragon Spear. In an instant, Lin Rei quickly retreated without saying anything. He gradually stopped when he was 100 meters away from the Chaotic Dragon Spear. However, his gaze was fixed on the Chaotic Dragon Spear's every move. He could not afford to be careless. Roar, roar, roar. Roar, Instantly, a dragon's roar reverberated through the heavens, filling the entire system. What shocked Linley even more was that after the dragon's roar rang out, the entire system space began to tremble. The dragon's roar grew louder and louder. Just as it was about to shatter the entire space, a voice that Linray was familiar with said, "Be quiet, or I'll eat you." In an instant, the dragon's roar disappeared. In the blink of an eye, only an aggrieved voice could be heard. Linray could not be more familiar with this voice. It was the system's voice that had disappeared. Linray's evaluation of the system was once again refreshed. Damn, this is too fierce. Linray found it hard to believe. How powerful was the system? It could actually make that terrifying roar retreat with a cold snort. How powerful did it have to be? Linray did not dare to imagine. Don't hide anymore. The chaotic dragon spear has been suppressed by me. Everything is fine now. Furthermore, I have already recognized you as its master. It won't dare to be so presumptuous in the future. At this moment, the system's voice sounded again. Linray's body trembled. He smiled and said, "Hee, I know. After speaking, Linray returned to the side of the chaotic dragon spear. This time, Linray was no longer as timid as before. Instead, he closed his eyes, gritted his teeth, and gripped the chaotic dragon spear tightly. In an instant, a gentle energy entered his body. Linray could not be bothered with the evil aura. He had to be on guard against this foreign energy. He immediately released his cultivation and divine sense. He hurriedly looked inside himself. Suddenly, a wave of energy entered his Dan Palace. The moment the energy entered his Dan Palace, his spirit opened its mouth and inhaled. In an instant, the energy uncontrollably entered the spirit's mouth. Linray did not pay too much attention to this scene. Furthermore, he did not pay much attention to this small amount of energy. However, in an instant, waves of energy entered his body one after another. It was the same as the energy from before. The moment it entered his Dan Palace, it was absorbed by his spirit. There were a total of 9 waves of energy. Linray recalled that the system said that there were 9 nine-clawed dragon souls in the chaotic dragon spear. When he connected them together, it was just right. When he thought of this, Linley relaxed. He didn't care about the amount of energy he needed right now. He immediately withdrew his inner vision and returned to his body. He quickly sealed off his cultivation and divine sense. Linley, who had been so mighty before, now looked like a big brother next door. He couldn't sense any spiritual energy or cultivation at all. Phew! Finally, Linray heaved a sigh of relief. Looking at the chaotic dragon spear in his hand, an excited smile appeared on his face. Hee, I finally got it. But honestly, it's a good item. If I use this item in my full strength, it'll be great if there's an immortal venerable here. I can also test my current cultivation base and see if it's comparable to an immortal venerable. Hee. One had to admit that Linray was probably the only one who dared to have such thoughts. Linray, who was constantly stroking the chaotic dragon spear, turned his gaze to the chaotic dragon spear. If the chaotic dragon spear is so powerful, this chaotic dragon spear should be pretty good too. Linray forgot about the previous scene. He immediately went forward and grabbed the chaotic dragon spear. However, this time, there was no terrifying scene like before. Swish! However, even though there wasn't any terrifying scene, the moment Linley grabbed the primordial chaos, the originally dull and unadorned set suddenly lit up. Instantly, the blinding light caused Linley to close his eyes, unable to open them again. At the same time, a warm feeling that made Linray relax gradually. After a long time, Linray tried to open his eyes. At this moment, the light was gone. Linray widened his eyes and found himself wearing the chaotic dragon spear. Crown, belt, clothes, accessories at the waist, a dragon head storage ring, and a pair of dragon treading boots. In an instant, an imposing aura swept across the surroundings. His slightly violet hair, his slightly red eyes, and his deity-grade primordial chaos set. Linley's current body was enough to make the entire immortal realm envious. Alright, stop acting cool. Hurry up and get out. You've been in here long enough. Just as Linray was admiring himself, the system's cold voice sounded. Just as Linray was about to say something, his body uncontrollably exited the system space. Damn it, Can't you let me finish my sentence first? Why do you have the same bad temper as the little dragon? Can't you learn something better? Lin Rei bellowed furiously. Then he opened his eyes and instantly, Lin Rei froze on the spot. At this moment, he was no longer under the shade of a tree at the back of the mountain. Instead, he was in a familiar room in Heavenly Blessing Village and on a bed. How is this possible? Why am I here? All of a sudden, questions popped up in Lin Rei's mind. He didn't understand why he was here. Besides, what did the system say about him being in here for too long? Lin Rei couldn't figure it out no matter how hard he thought about it. Suddenly, Lin Rei felt a familiar sensation in his hand. He sat up from the bed and turned around to see the Chaos Dragon Spear clutched tightly in his hand under the blanket. The Chaotic Dragon Spear was also wearing the Chaotic Dragon Spear. Seeing this, Lin Rei was relieved. As for the other questions, they weren't important anymore. Just as Lin Rei was caressing the Chaos Dragon Spear in his hand, the door was pushed open. Lin Rei lifted his head and saw Lu Ying and Lin Yun looking at him emotionally as though they had been separated by life and death and were reborn. "Young master, you've finally done it." Plop. Just as Lin Rei was wondering what was going on, Lu Ying, who was at the door, pounced into Lin Rei's arms and cried bitterly. Boo-hoo. This scene was too sudden and Lin Rei couldn't wrap his head around it. He didn't understand what was going on. However, Lin Rei wasn't disgusted by Lu Ying throwing herself into his arms. Moreover, wasn't the system's mission to make him and Lu Ying become Dao companions and get married? At this moment, it was just a matter of time. Looking at the crying Lu Ying in his arms, Lin Li hugged her with both hands. Neither of them said a word. As for Lin Yun, who was still waiting at the door, he tactfully left the room and closed the door behind him. Chapter 451. In the room, Lin Rei looked at Lu Ying, who was in his arms. His heart trembled for some reason and he closed his eyes for some reason. Time passed by slowly. Perhaps Lu Ying was tired from crying and fell asleep in Lin Rei's arms. She looked very cute. She pouted and her face was slightly red, making people want to kiss her. Ha! Looking at the sleeping Lu Ying in his arms, Lin Rei stood up with a smile on his face. His movements were very light, as if he was afraid of waking Lu Ying up. He carried Lu Ying and gently placed her on the bed. He covered her with a thick blanket and, for some reason, kissed Lu Ying on the lips before pushing the door open and leaving. Phew! When Lin Rei exited the room and came to the living room, his breathing suddenly became hurried and his heart raced. There was an unfathomable smile on his face. What's wrong with me? Could it be that I've really fallen for that girl? Lin Rei, who was standing at the door, didn't know that after he carried Lu Ying to the bed, Lu Ying was already awake. After that, Lin Rei's actions were all felt by Lu Ying after she woke up. Forget it. Let nature take its course. After thinking for a long time, Lin Rei shook his head and stopped thinking about it. He walked out of the room and hesitated as he walked towards the back of the mountain. He wanted to get an accurate answer from his son and find out what was going on and why Lu Ying was like that. At this moment, Lu Ying didn't get up from the bed. She was still lying on the bed, but she had a very happy smile on her face. She placed one hand on the lips that Lin Rei kissed and couldn't forget it for a long time. At the spiritual field in the back of the mountain, Lin Rei was practicing the myriad sword art and silent thunder spear art that Lin Rei taught him. His movements were smooth and fluid. Even if he didn't use his cultivation, when he used the silent thunder spear, the sound of thunder on the long spear would make people's scalps go numb. The moment they heard it, they didn't want to go forward. As for Lin Rei, he had already arrived under the shade of the tree where he had previously sat. Looking at his son in the distance, who was using 2 martial skills with such proficiency, Lin Rei felt very gratified. The corners of his mouth curled up into a happy smile. At this moment, Lin Rei was holding the Chaos Dragon Spear in his hand. He was dressed in the Chaos robes. However, because he did not use his cultivation, the light around him was restrained. No one could see the power of this weapon. Clap, clap, clap. The more Lin Rei looked at Lin Yun, the more excited he became. In the end, he couldn't help but clap his hands, waking Lin Yun up from his practice. Just as he was about to get angry at the person who disturbed his cultivation, he suddenly turned around. The moment he saw his father again, he teleported in front of him. Father, why are you here? Lin Yun had a strange expression on his face as he looked around as if he was looking for something. Noticing Lin Yun's strange behavior, Lin Li asked, "What are you looking at?" "Hee, father, where's my little mother? Why isn't she here?" Lin Yun's words instantly made Lin Rei look embarrassed. He coughed and quickly changed the topic. Ahem. I came here to ask you why you're so excited to see me. Also, Lu Ying said that I've finally recovered. What's going on? Lin Yun didn't hide anything and quickly told him everything he knew. However, the more Lin Yun spoke, the more vivid Lin Rei's expression became. In the end, he screamed in shock. What? You said that I've been in a deep sleep for a year. This news was extremely shocking to Lin Rei. He only remembered that he had only been in the system for a while. Furthermore, there were only a few missions. It was impossible for such a long time to have passed. However, what was in front of him right now was true. A year had indeed passed. Lin Rei was very puzzled about this. Lin Yun didn't feel that there was anything wrong with his father's puzzled expression because in his eyes, his father was in a coma. For someone in a coma, they wouldn't know how many months had passed. At this moment, Lin Rei was silent. He was stunned for a moment before he shouted at the little dragon. "Little dragon, hurry! Hurry up and come out. I have something to ask you." Silence. In the past, the little dragon would immediately come out to answer Lin Rei's questions. However, it didn't come out this time. As the saying goes, if something is abnormal, there must be a demon behind it. Lin Li firmly believed this without a doubt. As for why the little dragon hadn't come out, Lin Li was even more certain that Lin Yun was telling the truth about a year passing. He had really spent a year in the system. At this thought, Lin Rei's expression turned gloomy. According to the system, it was a 5-year mission. Now that a year had passed, Lin Rei panicked. He believed in the system's words without a doubt. He knew that the system would really erase him. Lin Rei panicked. At this moment, Lin Yun's heart thumped violently. A bad premonition arose in his heart. He was inexplicably afraid of his father's panicked expression. Ever since he recognized his father, he had never seen Lin Rei with such an expression. Just as Lin Yun was about to ask Lin Rei what happened, Lin Rei turned around and walked towards the Heavenly Blessing village at the foot of the mountain. He didn't turn back, nor did he care about his son who was talking. Forget it, I can't help father. I should hurry up and improve my cultivation. Perhaps I can help father in the future. When Lin Rei's figure disappeared, Lin Yun once again picked up the spear and began to practice the silent thunder spear art. Time passed quickly. In the blink of an eye, day had turned to night. Seeing that the sky was already dark, Lin Yun glanced at the faintly glowing spiritual field and turned to walk down the mountain. Nothing had happened to the spiritual field in the past 2 years. With the nourishment of the spiritual field, the crops had all turned into spiritual herbs. As for the spiritual herbs, after 2 years, they had grown very well. According to the age, the spiritual herbs here were indeed only 2 years old. But according to the real medicinal properties, the spiritual herbs here were probably 100 years old. This was also why the Xiantian absorption pouch was so precious. Not long after Lin Yun left, 2 streaks of light descended from the sky beside the spiritual field. One was fat and the other was thin, looking very comical. Moreover, they were of average height. Brother, look at the spiritual herbs in the spiritual field. Although they aren't very old, there are so many of them. It seems like someone planted them here. Why don't we go? Although that was what he said, the greed in his eyes overshadowed that of a division leader. Moreover, saliva was already dripping from his mouth, making him look like a pig. At this time, the thin man beside him heard his brother's words. He immediately turned his head and rolled his eyes. What do you know? Our identities are different now. Who are we? We are envoys of the White Elephant Empire. Now that we have encountered such a paradise, if we tell the Emperor about the spiritual field, then our relationship will be different. Don't you understand the saying, the boat rises with the tide? As he spoke, the thin man recklessly rushed to the spiritual field. He reached out and grabbed a vermilion fruit, then bit down on it. Hiss! Instantly, the vermilion fruit melted in his mouth. A stream of pure spiritual energy flowed from his throat into his dantian, making him feel refreshed. F***CK. Brother, I was wrong. Not only is this a spiritual field, it's also an extraordinary existence. You should know that the spiritual energy in this vermilion fruit is extremely vast, and the purity of the spiritual energy is comparable to the spiritual energy that we condense after refining the immortal spiritual energy for half a year. Having said that, the thin man began to pluck the vermilion fruit from his storage ring. The fat man naturally didn't want to fall behind, so he also joined in on the great task of plucking the vermilion fruit. At this moment, in the living room of the Lin family in Heavenly Blessing Village, Lin Yun, who had just returned to the dining table and was about to eat, suddenly looked towards the spiritual field behind the mountain. He had the urge to kill. It wasn't just Lin Yun, even Lin Rei had the same impulse. If he had known earlier, he would have set up a restriction when he was building the spiritual field. Apart from cultivators, ordinary people couldn't even get close. Furthermore, he had placed a strand of his divine sense in the spiritual field. Now that his divine sense was acting strangely, it meant that someone was stealing the spiritual herbs in the spiritual field. Let's go and see who dares to steal the spiritual herbs that I have painstakingly planted. As he spoke, Lin Rei took a step forward. When Lin Rei, who was sitting at the dining table, heard his father say that he had painstakingly planted the spiritual herbs, he was speechless. However, he also used his cultivation to catch up with Lin Rei and walk towards the spiritual field. The three of them quickly walked towards the back of the mountain. At this moment, the two people in the spiritual field seemed to have forgotten that someone who could plant so many spiritual herbs couldn't be ordinary. The two of them had already been blinded by the spiritual herbs in front of them. They only wanted to pluck the spiritual herbs and didn't care about anything else. A few minutes later, three people, 2 men and 1 woman, appeared next to the spiritual field that was originally empty. The fat and thin people had messed up the spiritual field, and most of the experience points had already been emptied. Instantly, Lin Rei's anger rose. Courting death. At this moment, Lin Yun saw his father's appearance. In an instant, before he could react, Lin Yun took the lead and rushed into the spiritual field. The Fire Stream 10,000 sword technique instantly appeared in his hand. Lin Yun used the 10,000 sword technique to its fullest potential. It wasn't very interesting, and the entire process was very smooth. It was very pleasing to the eye. However, the killing intent of the 10,000 sword technique was very real. Just as the sword was about to cut off the thin man's head, the thin man's figure suddenly disappeared. Lin Yun, who had used the 10,000 sword technique, missed. Immediately, he was very angry. He released his divine sense and instantly found the thin man's location. Immediately, he used the 10,000 sword technique. This time, Lin Yun didn't give him a chance to escape. Although there weren't 10,000 swords, there were still 1,000. The densely packed swords formed a wall of swords, pressing down on the skinny man with unparalleled strength. Chapter 452. At this moment, the skinny man's eyes were filled with fear when he saw the sword wall. He didn't think that he could break through the sword wall's power. Plap! Seeing the sword wall slowly approaching, the skinny man knew that he wasn't a hero. In the face of death, he chose to submit. Senior, the envoy of the White Elephant Empire, Zhao Dezhu, and the one next to him is my younger brother, Zhao Buzhu. The two of us passed by and saw that the spiritual herbs here were abundant, so we wanted to pick some. Senior, we really didn't mean to. Please let us go. At this moment, the skinny man was kneeling on the ground, tears and snot dripping down his face as he kowtowed to Lin Yun with a regretful expression. Suddenly, Lin Yun's face stopped in front of the skinny man, unlike before. At this moment, the sword wall was only a hand away from the skinny man's body. If Lin Yun hadn't stopped in time, the skinny man would have already stepped into the gates of hell. Ah, can't cover, can't cover. Your parents really know how to pick names. At this moment Lin Rei, who was at the back, heard the names of the two men. Lin Rei even suspected that their mothers were playing around. These names were really... When Lin Rei's words reached the ears of the two men, they felt ashamed and resentful, but they didn't dare to resist. The sword wall was so close. If they flipped out now, they would undoubtedly be courting death. As the saying goes, where there's life, there's hope. They had to get out of danger first. Who knows what will happen in the future? Every dog has its day. Lin Yun was a little troubled by the pleas of the Zhao brothers. He looked at Lin Rei, wanting to ask for his opinion. Yes, let them go. Cultivation isn't easy to come by. I think what they said is true. Moreover, I'm not in the right condition to kill right now. However, I can let them go. Search their storage rings and bags clean. Want to steal from me? 2 words, no way. After saying that, Lin Rei didn't look at the Zhao brothers anymore. Instead, he pulled Lu Ying to a tree next to the spiritual field, sat down, and admired the bright moon in the sky. At this moment, Lu Ying was very happy. At the same time, her face blushed the moment Lin Rei pulled her. Now that she was shrouded in the moonlight, she looked exceptionally beautiful and otherworldly. Nothing could be more beautiful. On the other side, Lin Yun completely relayed Lin Li's words to the Zhao brothers. Regarding this, the Zhao brothers didn't say anything and hurriedly took out all the things they could save on their bodies. A look of gratitude on his face, he kowtowed towards Lin Li. Senior, these are all the things we have on us. Take a look. Should we? After saying that, Zhao Dezhu raised his hand and pointed into the distance. His body was already leaning towards the distance, ready to leave at any time. Looking at the 6 storage rings on the ground, Lin Yun nodded and said to the 2, I'll let you off this time since it's your first offense. But remember, don't tell anyone about this place after you leave. If I find out that you've told anyone about this place, don't mention the White Elephant Empire. Even if it's a sect, I'll kill the 2 of you. After saying that, a murderous aura burst forth and rushed towards the 2 kneeling Zhao brothers. Why yes, we understand. Don't worry, we definitely won't tell anyone about this place. After saying that, Zhao Dezhu hurriedly walked to the side and pulled his brother up from the ground. Then he flew into the air and quickly flew into the distance. The green mountains don't change and the clear water flows forever. You've provoked the White Elephant Empire today, so wait for the White Elephant Empire's revenge. A reply was heard. Instantly, Lin Rei furrowed his brows, then recovered his calm expression. As for Lin Yun, after hearing these words, he was infuriated. He immediately prepared to release his cultivation and chase after them, but he was stopped by Lin Li. Don't go, the 2 of them have already left. Even if you rush after them now, you might not be able to catch up. Moreover, according to them, they're envoys from the White Elephant Empire. That means that there might be companions ahead. What if you get ambushed if you rashly chase after them? Lin Rei's words were very reasonable. Lin Yun gave up on the idea of chasing after them and turned to ask his father, Then how should we deal with this matter? They've already informed the White Elephant Empire. What should we do? Seeing his son's worried expression, Lin Rei stood up helplessly and turned to walk towards the Heavenly Blessing Village. Haha, if they want to come, I don't mind letting the incident from a few years ago happen again. With that, Lin Rei left with Lu Ying and returned home to the Heavenly Blessing Village. Lin Yun, on the other hand, remained in the spiritual field to prevent them from returning. Time passed day by day. It had been 5 days since the incident with the Zhao brothers from the White Elephant Empire. Lin Rei had been very comfortable in these few days. In these 5 days, the blurry barrier between Lin Rei and Lu Ying was finally broken, and the 2 of them naturally lived together. When Lin Yun heard this news, a smile appeared on his face. However, Lin Rei could see a trace of disappointment in Lin Yun's eyes. Lin Rei was very helpless about this. He knew that he owed Lin Yun's mother, Yao Er, but he had no choice. Lin Rei didn't have any feelings for Yao Er at all. That was a mistake back then. However, to Lin Rei, Lin Yun was everything. Thus, Lin Rei enjoyed Lin Yun personally and imparted everything he knew to Lin Yun. This was also a form of compensation for what he did to Yao Er back then. And when Lin Yun found out about his father's relationship with Lu Ying, he immediately called Lu Ying his stepmother. However, to Lin Rei, who was living together, this wasn't a mission in his eyes. It was because he really liked Lu Ying. Of course, since things had already turned out this way, the mission was only natural. On this day, Lin Rei asked Lin Yun to buy some red candles for his wedding and decorate the house. Finally, he invited the Tian family over for a meal. The scene that was supposed to be lively wasn't lively at all. Just as Lin Rei was about to carry Lu Ying into the bridal chamber, a terrifying aura swept over. Lin Rei was very unhappy about this. Looking at the source of the aura, Lin Rei's eyes flashed with murderous intent. Humph. King dogs. How dare you cause trouble on my wedding day? Even if you're from the White Elephant Empire, I'll turn you into ruins. At this moment, Lin Rei was really angry. Marriage was something that Lin Rei looked forward to very much. Causing trouble at this moment was undoubtedly courting death. Yao Ergo. Take this spear and kill them for me. Don't be afraid. You still have the Xuanzong Sect behind you. Even if the Xuanzong Sect can't do it, Father will support you. As he spoke, Lin Rei took out the Martial Emperor Divine Spear that he wanted to give him previously. The moment the Martial Emperor Divine Spear appeared, a bone-chilling light flickered on the tip of the spear, causing people's hearts to palpitate. Father, are you really going to give this spear to me? Looking at the spear in front of him, he clearly remembered that this was the weapon that his father had always used. Moreover, countless experts had died under this spear. Now that his father was giving it to him, he felt incomparably honored. What was this? This was an acknowledgement of him. Then, he grabbed the Martial Emperor Divine Spear and nodded at Lin Rei. Father, don't worry. I'll definitely kill all those bastards who disturb you in the bridal chamber. Then, I'll fertilize our spiritual fields. With that, Lin Yun's body disappeared on the spot. At this moment, in the room, the Tian family was completely stunned. After being here for so many years, they never knew that Lin Rei's wife was a cultivator. Therefore, when they saw this scene, they were extremely shocked. As for Tanaka C's wife, Liao Yu, her expression and actions were all seen by Lin Rei. At this moment, Liao Yu had already returned to normal. Regarding Lin Yun's actions just now, she only frowned slightly and was a little surprised. She didn't do anything else, unlike Tanaka C, who was full of respect for Lin Rei after knowing that Lin Yun was a cultivator. Ah, I didn't expect this woman's cultivation to be so high. After seeing Yun Er's cultivation, she was only slightly surprised. It seems that this place is really getting more and more interesting. After that, Lin Rei ignored Tanaka C and Liao Yu. Chapter 453. No, don't. Sensing the approaching danger, Zhao Dezhu hurriedly looked at the leader for help. However, to his disappointment, the leader's eyes were filled with indifference and mockery. Seeing this scene, Zhao Dezhu wanted to run away, but it was too late. Puff! The Martial Emperor Divine Spear directly pierced through Zhao Dezhu's head. His vitality disappeared the moment it pierced through the field, and his body fell from the sky. Whoosh! Suddenly, a palm-sized mini version of Zhao Dezhu poked his head out of the falling corpse. He thought there was no danger, but he instantly flashed out and fled toward the distant sky. At this moment, Zhao Dezhu only wanted to survive, let alone revenge. He didn't think about anything else. Zhao Dezhu, who was in a soul state, couldn't care so much. He immediately consumed a lot of soul power in order to speed up his escape. However, man proposes, God disposes. Just as Zhao Dezhu's soul poked out of the corpse, Lin Yun knew Zhao Dezhu's intention. Oh, you want to leave? Do you think it's possible? Suddenly, a cold voice came from the front. Zhao Dezhu's soul instantly stopped flying and looked forward in horror. At this moment, Lin Yun was standing in front of him with a spear in his hand, like a god of war. No, no, no. Senior, I was possessed for a moment. It's my fault. My body is already gone. If my divine soul dissipates, then I will really disappear from this world. Senior, I was wrong. Please forgive me. At this moment, Zhao Dezhu was kneeling on the ground and begging Lin Yun with tears and snot, but this time, it was not like the last time. Looking at Zhao Dezhu, who was kneeling in the air and kowtowing, Lin Yun sneered and said, "Oh, I let you go last time, but you obviously don't know how to cherish it. Today, you came to disturb my father's wedding day. This crime can only be offset by your death." As he spoke, Lin Yun moved. In order to prevent Zhao Dezhu from escaping, Lin Yun had set up a restriction before coming here, so Lin Yun wasn't worried about him escaping at all. However, you don't have to worry. You won't be alone. Everyone here will die because you've disturbed someone you can't afford to offend. So die in peace. After saying that, Lin Yun didn't waste any more time and disappeared from his original spot. When he reappeared, Lin Yun's hand was already grabbing the crying Zhao Dezhu. This time, Lin Yun didn't show any mercy. Immortal spiritual energy surged and the mini Zhao Dezhu was instantly crushed by Lin Yun. At this moment, under the eaves of the heavenly blessing village, Lin Rui looked at his son's actions. Only by doing this could he leave with peace of mind and hand over the sect to him. At this moment, Lin Rui's test for Lin Yun had begun. At this moment, Lin Yun was completely unaware that he had unknowingly participated in the test of the sect master. At this moment, Lin Yun only had one thought in his mind, and that was to kill all those who disturbed his father's wedding night. After killing Zhao Dezhu, Lin Yun removed the restriction around him and arrived in front of the 100 cultivators. Looking at these 100 cultivators, Lin Yun didn't have a trace of fear in his heart. His battle intent soared to a peak. Humph, who else dares to fight with me? Filled with the cultivation of a golden immortal, he roared at the invaders in front of him and his killing intent swept out. Heh! At this moment, the leader of the White Elephant Empire's group heard Lin Yun's shout and smiled. Little child, you should go back. You're not my match. Apart from these two pieces of trash, everyone else here is of a higher level than you. Go and call your parents out. Have them obediently hand over the spirit field and I might spare your worthless lives. That's right. Hurry up and call your parents out. Don't let a shit-eating child like you come out. Aren't you ashamed? Ha ha ha. That's right. I reckon your hair isn't even fully grown yet. Instantly, a wave of mockery entered Lin Yun's ears. Looking at the 100 people in front of him, Lin Yun didn't retreat. Instead, his battle intent and killing intent surged. You only know how to talk fast. If you have the guts, come out and fight. I'll let you see the cultivation of this shit-eating child. Let's see if you can beat a child who isn't even fully grown yet. Lin Yun wasn't angry at their words. After all, their mouths belonged to others and he couldn't control them. Therefore, he could only kill them to prove how obvious their mockery was. Although he knew that the other party's cultivation was higher than his, Lin Yun was confident that he could kill most of them. As for the leader, Lin Yun knew that he didn't have the ability to do so because he could feel that this person was very strong. Humph, I'll fight with you. At this moment, a middle-aged man among the 100 cultivators was enraged when he heard Lin Yun's words. He held a 3-foot-long cold light in his hand and quickly arrived in front of Lin Yun. Without any nonsense, he immediately started the battle. Gale Sword Art Kill. In an instant, the middle-aged man's long sword carried something. With his cultivation at the mid-stage immortal monarch realm, he instantly executed the Gale Sword Art. Immediately, the surrounding wind seemed to be affected by the middle-aged man and slowly began to form wind blades that slashed towards Lin Yun. His killing intent and power were overwhelming as he charged towards Lin Yun with an unstoppable momentum. Humph! How dare you act so presumptuously? At this moment, when he saw the middle-aged man executing the Gale Sword Art, his heart trembled. Although he was a little surprised, he quickly regained his composure and put away the martial Emperor Divine Spear. In an instant, the Fire Stream 10,000 magic sword appeared in his hand. 10,000 Sword Art. First form. 10,000 Sword Art. In an instant, the Fire Stream 10,000 magic sword floated in front of Lin Yun. Strange seals danced on Lin Yun's fingertips and a terrifying pressure appeared. The seals formed faster and faster and many phantoms of the Fire Stream 10,000 magic sword began to appear around the Fire Stream 10,000 magic sword. More and more phantoms appeared and formed a sword wall. Humph! Gale Sword Art? Damn it, it might as well be called Spring Breeze. It has no power at all. Go to hell. At this moment, Lin Yun was filled with killing intent. This move was enough to kill the man in front of him. Go to hell. With a roar, Lin Yun grabbed the Fire Stream 10,000 magic sword floating in front of him and instantly controlled the sword wall to charge towards the middle-aged man. Whoosh! The speed of the sword wall was very fast, so fast that it was unbearable. Bang! In an instant, the sword wall and the wind blade made of wind collided. But what was unbelievable was that the wind blade was easily cut into pieces by the sword wall, and the sword wall rushed towards the middle-aged man who was using the Gale Sword Art without any speed. How? How is this possible? Impossible. You're only in the Zenith Heavenly Realm. You can't possibly shatter my attack. The middle-aged man was in disbelief. Then, he sent another wave of wind blades at the sword wall. But the result was the same as before. It shattered without any comparison. Impossible. It shouldn't be like this. At this moment, the middle-aged man was in a daze. After so many attempts, he still lost to the young man who was insulting him under the blanket. Now, he had been slapped in the face and lost all his face. PFFF. 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 While the middle-aged man was still in a state of disbelief, the sword wall charged towards the middle-aged man and pierced through his body without any hesitation. In an instant, the middle-aged man's corpse was pierced through by the sword wall. Not to mention his divine soul, even his physical body was destroyed by the sword wall, not to mention his divine soul. An immortal monarch expert, an expert of a region, was killed by a cultivator with a lower cultivation than him. This kind of grievance was incomprehensible to ordinary people. Hiss. At this moment, the 100 people who came with Bai Xiang all sucked in a breath of cold air. The way they looked at Lin Yun had changed. When they saw their comrade being killed, they already regarded Lin Yun as someone of the same level. There was no more contempt, no more humiliation, and there was a reverence that they had never felt before. Humph, who wants to fight? At this moment, Lin Yun, who had used the myriad sword art once, had exhausted some of his immortal qi. However, he could still use it a few more times. But at this moment, Lin Yun's face was a little pale. Although the myriad sword art was an emperor-grade cultivation technique, the person who used it had to have a high cultivation and dense immortal qi to be able to use it. For example, Lin Rei's immortal qi was very pure. It wouldn't be a problem even if he used it 100 times. Moreover, each time he used it, it would be stronger than the last. This was directly related to the density of his immortal qi. At this moment, the 100 people on Bai Xiang's side were hesitating. If they hadn't seen Lin Yun's ability, perhaps they would have rushed up to fight. But now it was different. Lin Rei's strength had shocked them. It could even be said that they were afraid. A few minutes later, the sky was silent. No one made a sound. Suddenly, the face of the leader of Bai Xiang sank. Humph, a bunch of useless things. Is this enough to scare you? The leader felt that he had lost face. He immediately turned his head and reprimanded the people he had brought with him. But when he saw that they all had their heads lowered, he immediately stopped reprimanding them and turned to one of the 100 people. Longji, you go. This time you must kill this person. Snatch his spear and sword for me. If possible, snatch his cultivation technique as well. He pointed at a very bashful youth. At this moment, the leader didn't forget the greed in his heart. Humph, greedy bastard. When Lin Yun heard the words of the leader of Bai Xiang's side, disgust rose in his heart. If it wasn't for the fact that he knew that he wasn't strong enough, he would have already rushed up to fight. At this moment, Long Ji, who was pointed at, suddenly trembled. His eyes were filled with fear as he kept dodging. Chapter 454. However, no matter how Long Ji dodged, the outcome of the battle was set in stone and could not be changed. Everyone's gaze turned to the timid Long Ji, their eyes filled with schadenfreude. Humph. Hurry up and go. It's best if he dies. That way, the young master of the Long family can rightfully inherit the position of the Long family patriarch. Humph. Hurry up and die. He's just a piece of trash. It doesn't matter if he dies. At this moment, everyone had their own ulterior motives. Everyone was filled with hatred for this young man called Long Ji. They all wanted him to die in this battle. Time slowly passed. When everyone saw that Long Ji was still standing there, they were furious. The leader was even more furious as he roared at Long Ji. Long Ji, hurry up and get out of here. You have to fight even if you don't want to. This is unchangeable. In one sentence, it directly blocked Long Ji's way. After everyone heard the words of the leader, their eyes were even more unscrupulous as they threw a look of contempt. At this moment, when Long Ji saw that he couldn't avoid it, he raised his head. Immediately, he saw the gazes of everyone around him. For a moment, Long Ji was extremely angry at everyone's disdainful gazes. Why are you doing this to me? Although Long Ji was roaring in his heart, it was unavoidable. He steeled his heart, lifted his foot, and walked out of the crowd. A trace of envy flashed in Long Ji's eyes as he looked at the awe-inspiring Lin Yun. He also wanted to be like Lin Yun, who could fight 100 people by himself without fear of offending Long Ji. He also wanted to have that kind of spirit. Seeing this, Long Ji revealed a self-deprecating smile and instantly swung his halberd. He arrived in front of Lin Yun in an instant and launched a flurry of stabs. At this moment, Lin Yun didn't remember to make a move. Instead, he looked at the way Long Ji used the halberd and was puzzled. Although Long Ji's attacks were disorderly, there was a trace of killing intent in the chaos. If it wasn't for the fact that he was familiar with the spear, he would have been stabbed and killed by Long Ji. Lin Yun was shocked, but at the same time, he was interested in this young man. He didn't continue to make a move. Instead, he wanted to see how strong Long Ji was. Mad Dragon Pierce, break for me. Immediately, Long Ji saw that his attack had no effect on the person in front of him. Immediately, his heart sank and he used his martial skill. At this moment, the halberd seemed to have come to life. It transformed into a flood dragon and arrived before Lin Yun in an instant. Its might shocked Lin Yun. As expected, although his personality is timid, his martial skills are indeed very powerful. Even if it is the person who was killed before, if compared with this Long Ji, I believe that Long Ji can win. Looking at Long Ji's performance, Lin Yun admired him more and more. He even had the urge to recruit him. When the leader of White Elephant's side saw this scene, his heart sank and his face turned cold. He had an urge to kill. I didn't expect this coward to be so strong. After fighting for such a long time, he still hasn't lost. Could it be that I really underestimated him before? Sigh, looks like I have to be careful in the future. I didn't expect this kid to be so strong. Long Ji's performance exceeded everyone's expectations. At the same time, everyone hated Long Ji even more, especially those who wanted him dead. At this moment, under the roof of the Heavenly Blessing Village's Lin family, Lin Rei smiled as he looked at the battle in the sky. He then took out a pill from his storage ring and handed it to Liao Xing. Give this pill to Yun. Tell him that if he wants to do it, then don't hesitate. After saying that, Lin Rei turned his gaze back to the battle in the sky. Lin Rei guessed his son's thoughts correctly. This battle could have ended long ago. But Lin Rei didn't make a move. Instead, he looked at Liao Xing with admiration. Seeing this, Lin Rei knew that his son wanted to accept this person. I'm going. Liao Xing took the pill from Lin Rei's hand and disappeared. When Liao Xing saw Liao Xing again, she was already beside Lin Yun. When she arrived beside Lin Yun and saw that Long Ji was still attacking, Liao Xing snorted coldly and raised her hand to suppress Long Ji. In an instant, Long Ji, who had already raised his halberd, let out a cold snort and stopped moving in midair. In response, Bai Xiang's group of 100 people was filled with astonishment. What? What kind of cultivation is this? How? At this moment, everyone didn't know what to do. Just a cold snort from this unfamiliar woman could stop an immortal monarch expert. What kind of cultivation was this woman? Everyone wanted to retreat. They wanted to leave this place. However, when facing such an expert, their legs no longer listened to their own commands. Little mother. Seeing that Long Ji was frozen in place, Lin Yun turned his head and saw Lu Ying standing behind him. Lin Yun asked Lu Ying with a puzzled expression. Little mother, why are you here? Here, this is what your father gave you. He told you to do as you wish. With that, Lu Ying casually threw the pill away and it turned into a ray of light that flew into Lin Yun's hand. Be careful, I'll be leaving first. Liao Xing was swift and decisive. Before Lin Yun could say anything, she had already disappeared. Lin Yun was helpless about this. Holding the pill in his hand, Lin Yun was pleasantly surprised. He looked at Lin Rei with a smile and walked towards Long Ji. Step by step, he walked to Long Ji's side. At this moment, Bai Xiang's side was overjoyed. They all thought that Long Ji was dead for sure. Lin Yun said, I know you're angry, but don't worry. As long as you follow me, you won't be humiliated like before. You'll become a god that they worship. Without asking for Long Ji's consent, he directly took the medicinal pill in his hand and stuffed it into Long Ji's mouth. With one hand, immortal qi, he controlled Long Ji's throat and the medicinal pill immediately melted into Long Ji's body. At the same time, Long Ji retreated to the side and looked at Lin Yun suspiciously. He had clearly heard Lin Yun's words, but he still doubted why Lin Yun would choose him if that was the case. However, he didn't understand why Lin Yun would choose him. But before he could think about it, the suspicion and hatred in his heart towards the spear-wielding man completely disappeared, replaced by reverence. With a plop, Long Ji walked to Lin Yun's side and kowtowed. "I, Long Ji, greet master." "Hiss, what, how can this be?" "This pill, yes, that pill just now, it must be." At this moment, the Bai Xiang Empire's people saw Long Ji's abnormal behavior and thought of the pill just now. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air and their faces were filled with shock. Who is this family? Why is it like this? Could this be a place where experts live in seclusion? The middle-aged man's brain was very strong. At the same time, after Lu Ying's appearance, he wanted to retreat and didn't want to be online. Now that he saw a person become so obedient with just a pill, he immediately regretted it. He regretted listening to the Zhao brothers' instigation and coming to find some spiritual field. The happiest person was Lin Yun. Looking at Long Ji in front of him, he was delighted and said, "Get up." "Yes." Long Ji automatically went behind Lin Yun and respectfully stood in place, staring at the people in front of him. "Humph, who else?" "Step forward," Lin Yun said to the White Elephant Empire's group, but his gaze was fixed on the leader of the group. His gaze was filled with battle intent, as if he was itching to fight a battle. The leader of the Bai Xiang Empire also saw Lin Yun's gaze. He sneered at Lin Yun and said, "You want to fight me? Don't you think you're not qualified?" The man's words made Lin Yun frown. His anger surged and his fighting spirit couldn't be restrained. He rushed towards the middle-aged man with a fearless appearance. "Okay, since you're so confident, I'll fight you." As he spoke, a jade flute suddenly appeared in the middle-aged man's hand. But Lin Yun didn't relax in the slightest because when the middle-aged man took out the jade flute, a terrifying pressure instantly swept over. Humph. Facing the pressure, Lin Yun coldly snorted and used his cultivation to counteract the pressure. Although his body still felt heavy, it was much better than before. "I am Bai Xiang Empire's Xueqi." After Xueqi finished reporting his name, his body disappeared. Seeing this scene, Lin Yun was startled. He immediately used his divine sense to search for traces of Xueqi. However, Lin Xue's face became more and more gloomy as a bad premonition surged in her heart. "Who?" Suddenly the sound of a flute echoed. Lin Yun immediately used his divine sense to search for the source of the sound, but he was disappointed. The sound came from all directions and was becoming more and more intense. PFFF. Just as Lin Yun was probing Xueqi's silhouette, he felt a sense of danger behind him. But before Lin Yun could react, an unknown attack cut through his arm, leaving a deep gash in his arm. Crimson blood flowed out and dripped to the ground. But fortunately, it was only flesh that was cut. Moreover, if Lin Yun hadn't dodged, his entire arm would have been crippled. The pain surged in his heart, but Lin Yun didn't have the time to care about his bleeding arm. Instead, he focused on sensing his surroundings. At this moment, Lin Yun knew that if he was careless, it wouldn't be his arm that was cut, but his head. Chapter 455. Heaven's Net Palm, Die. Bang. Before Lin Yun could react, an earth-shattering palm print had already arrived in front of him. 1 palm, 2 palms, 3 palms. Bam. 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 Just like that, the Heaven's Net Palm landed on Lin Yun's chest, one palm after another. PFFF. Lin Yun spat out a mouthful of blood and his face turned pale. There was no sign of life in him and his aura was so weak that it made people panic. When Xueqi saw that Lin Yun had been hit, he appeared and looked at him coldly with disdain and mockery. At this moment, Lin Yun, who had been severely injured by Xueqi's Heaven's Net Palm, could no longer support himself in the air. In an instant, his body fell to the ground. Ah! Cough cough. A self-deprecating sound came out of his mouth as he weakly muttered to himself, "Ah, I thought I could do it, but I didn't expect to lose in the end. I was so thoroughly defeated that I couldn't even fight back." Lin Yun closed his eyes and prepared to accept his death. Suddenly, a pair of warm hands hugged him and a stream of pure immortal energy flowed into his body, healing his injuries. "Don't move. Just focus on healing your injuries. Lin Rei, will never let anyone bully my son. If news of this were to spread, then I wouldn't be a good father. Lin Yun, who had his eyes closed, felt warmth in his heart. He didn't even need to think to know that only Lin Rei, his father, could treat him like this. At the same time, Lin Rei's voice could be heard clearly. His tone was filled with anger and killing intent. Poor Lin Rei, at this moment, was really angry. Soon, he brought Lin Yun to the Lin family's house in Heavenly Blessing Village. He put Lin Yun down and stuffed a healing pill into Lin Yun's ear. You can focus on healing your injuries here. You've already done a good job. Leave the rest to me. With that, Lin Rei stood up and said to Lu Ying, look after Yun Er. It won't be hard for him to move around if he stays here. He believed that if he didn't give the order, Lu Ying would have already followed him into battle. I got it. Don't worry and go. Fighting is a man's job. I'm only responsible for looking after the house. Hearing Lu Ying's words, Lin Rei felt helpless. He didn't think that his newly married wife would say something like that, but this was just what he wanted to kiss. Okay, I'm going. With that said, the primal Chaos Dragon Spear appeared in his hand as a surge of killing intent burst out from his body. Ow! Ow! Dragon roars that gave off desolate and tyrannical auras soared into the sky, making it impossible for anyone to refute. 1, 2, 3, 9. In the end, 9 dragon roars rang out, leaving everyone stunned. How could this be? This spear actually imprisons the 9 heavens azure dragon. This doesn't make sense. At this moment, Liao Yu, who was by Lin Li's side, sensed that the 9 dragon roars were coming from the spear in Lin Li's hand. Instantly, his face was filled with shock as he watched this scene. Not only Liao Yu, but even Xueqi was shocked. The dragon roars, coupled with the unprecedented murderous aura, made him panic. Impossible. It's impossible for anyone to have such a strong murderous aura. Yes, I must be mistaken. Yes, I must be mistaken. Xueqi couldn't believe what he was seeing. He had been deluding himself, but was it really useful? My reverse scale is irreversible. Today, you've touched my reverse scale, so there's only one outcome for you. Death. At this moment, Lin Rei, who was under the roof of the Lin family, lifted his head and looked at Xueqi in the sky. His murderous intent surged. At this moment, he couldn't think of anything else. His only thought was to kill them and avenge his son. Whoosh! Lin Rei, who was holding the chaotic dragon spear, disappeared from under the roof of the Lin family in a flash. When he reappeared, he was already in the sky, facing Xueqi. Lin Rei didn't open his eyes to look at the person who had hurt his son. Facing an early immortal emperor, Lin Rei didn't put him in his eyes. He was able to kill immortal emperors when he was in the immortal monarch realm, let alone now that he was also in the immortal emperor realm. Moreover, he had the chaotic dragon spear and the chaotic dragon spear. If he still couldn't kill a immortal emperor expert, he would probably die of depression. Oh, the old one has come after beating the young one. But I think you're just like your useless son. But if you give me the spiritual field, maybe I'll let your family go. Suddenly, Lin Rei heard a voice that made him uncomfortable. Instantly, he frowned and his murderous intent surged. Lin Li didn't waste any words. He didn't need to pay any attention to this clown who was busy talking to himself. If you hurt my son, you'll have to pay with your limbs. If you hurt my son. Lin Rei paused for a moment. However, when Xueqi heard this, he asked out of curiosity, if I hurt your son, what's wrong? If you hurt my son, you'll have to pay with the lives of your entire family. As the saying goes, if you can fight, don't make a fuss. After saying this, Lin Rei's body began to blur until he disappeared from Xueqi's sight. As the saying goes, give someone a taste of their own medicine. At this moment, Lin Rei was planning to kill him in the same way that he had hurt his son. Xueqi was shocked when he saw Lin Rei suddenly disappear. He immediately used his divine sense to search for Lin Rei's location. However, his divine sense was empty. There was no one there. Suddenly, an ominous feeling rose in his heart. You hurt my son and almost lost your life. Then, I'll let you have a taste of what it means to be a human rod. The cold voice came from all directions, to the point that Xueqi couldn't even tell where Linli was. However, when he heard the words human rod, his heart trembled, and his face darkened. Obviously, he knew what human rod meant. Humph! I'm the son of the White Elephant Empire's Emperor Huashan. Do you think you can kill me? At this moment, Xueqi understood that he had no power to fight back against the person in front of him. The only way to save his life was to bring up his family background. Only then would he have a chance to survive. White Elephant Empire. Never heard of it. Moreover, when did I say I was going to kill your mother? I said I was going to kill your son to vent my anger. Looking at the clown in front of him, Lin Rei teased him unhurriedly. As for the White Elephant Empire that this idiot was talking about, he had never heard of it. However, he had heard of Proud Heaven and Xueqi. Moreover, these two empires were destroyed under the blanket. Hearing this, Xueqi was dumbfounded. He didn't expect this person to be so indifferent when he mentioned the White Elephant Empire. Suddenly, he was scared. He was really scared. Then he turned to leave. However, Lin Rei already had his eyes on his prey. How could he escape? Don't you think it's too late to leave? Since you hurt my son, you must stay. But don't worry, I'll let someone pass a message to the White Elephant Empire. Just say that I, Lin Rei, will once again welcome the White Emperor. After saying this, a golden light streaked across the sky and rushed towards Xueqi's left arm. The speed of the golden light was so fast that Xueqi felt it, but he didn't have any chance to escape. Puff! The arm that was pierced by the golden light was separated from his body. Ah! Suddenly, Xueqi screamed like a pig being slaughtered. His voice was hoarse and unbearable. Because his arm was cut off, the pain made Xueqi's whole body twist. He hated the person in front of him to the extreme. At the same time, he didn't dare to show it. He could only scream in pain and think of a way to escape. At this moment, Lin Rei had already appeared in front of the hundreds of people. He didn't have the chance to see Xueqi screaming in pain behind him. Looking at the hundreds of people in front of him, Lin Rei's eyes were full of ruthlessness and indifference. He looked at them as if they were already dead, making them panic. Following him can only mean that you have a bad life. Listening to others can only mean that you are too greedy. A person with a bad life and greed living in this world is a waste. It's better for you to die. After saying this, he raised the chaotic dragon spear. Waves of red energy that made people's hearts palpitate flowed out from the spear and surrounded the crowd. Senior, please let us go. We won't dare to do this again. Moreover, we were forced to come here by Xueqi. We didn't want to come here. That's right, Senior. We didn't come here willingly. It's all because of Xueqi. Yes, it's all because of Xueqi. He used his father's title to threaten us. That's right. Senior, please let us go. As the saying goes, when disaster strikes, everyone flies away separately. At this moment, they truly understood whether a person was a friend worth making. However, it was clear that none of these 100 people were willing to die for Xueqi. Instead, they were all hoping that they would have a chance to survive if Xueqi died. As I said, only one of you can survive. As for your life, it's up to you. After saying this, Lin Rei raised his hand and a restrictive spell was instantly set up, surrounding the crowd. Don't worry. This restrictive spell is just a prison. Only one of you will be able to leave safely. The rest of you will only have one ending, and that is death. After saying this, Lin Rei didn't look at them anymore and came to Xueqi's side. At this moment, Xueqi was no longer shouting. However, the hatred in his eyes was getting more and more intense. It's good that you hate me. It's good that you hate me. This way you will have the motivation to live and I will also have the motivation to play. I will let you see how the White Elephant Empire, which is your so-called powerful backer, will be destroyed in your hands. Chapter 456. Xueqi was shocked. Normally, people would show some respect to the White Elephant Empire. Even immortal emperors would take the White Elephant Empire into consideration. However, this person's eyes were filled with disdain and contempt. This was the first time he had seen such a situation. However, he was afraid. He was afraid that this person's words would really come true. If that happened, the White Elephant Empire would really be destroyed in his hands. You can't do this. Regardless of whether it was true or not, Xueqi completely believed that this man could do it. He immediately helped Xueqi up. Beg for mercy? Do you think you're qualified? You're now a prisoner, so you don't have the right to talk about conditions with me. After saying that, Xueqi came back to his senses. Lin Rei instantly moved and disappeared in front of him. Star finger. Lin Rei reappeared in front of Xueqi. Xueqi had no strength to fight back, so he could only watch himself being tortured. Lin Rei used the star finger. His left index and middle fingers turned golden in an instant. Then, he stabbed Xueqi's other arm with lightning speed. Piff! Xueqi screamed. At this moment, apart from his 2 legs, his 2 arms had been chopped off by Lin Rei. If he chopped off the other 2 legs, he would really become a human stick. Seeing Xueqi screaming, Lin Rei did not continue. Instead, he retreated to the side and said to Longji, "Do you want to take revenge for your past humiliation? Do you want to stop being a coward? Then kill this person in front of you. Kill him and you'll no longer be a coward. You'll become a true cultivator and have the qualifications to be a sharp sword by Yun-Er's side. This is not only a test for you, but also your future." Lin Rei knew that Longji had been humiliated for a long time. His heart was extremely twisted. If he did not correct it now, he would not have the chance in the future. Can I really do it? At this moment, after listening to Lin Rei's words, Longji's eyes were filled with confusion and uncertainty. At the same time there was also fear. He didn't know if this was the right thing to do, but there was a voice in his heart that kept telling him, "As long as you kill them, no one will humiliate you in the future. As long as you kill them you will become a man. As long as you kill them, you will have a chance to go back and take your mother out. Only in this way can you protect your mother well. Only in this way can your mother not be bullied by the mistress of the Long family." Every time the voice in his heart said a word, Longji's heart in reality became clearer. Longji's eyes became clearer and clearer until finally, the previous cowardice, timidity, fear, terror, and confusion completely disappeared. At this moment, besides determination and killing intent, there was also the light of protection in his eyes. Many thanks. I know what to do. In the future, I will be a sharp sword by master's side. Wherever my sword points, I will kill. Good. This child is worth teaching. The more Lin Rei looked at Longji, the more he liked him. If his son hadn't taken a fancy to him first, he would have probably taken him for his own use regardless of the cost. However, if Lin Yun knew about this, he would definitely despise his father and say, "You're even licking your own son's corner." However, in the end, Lin Rei gave up on the idea of taking Longji for his own use. Alright, stay by Yun-Er's side in the future. If you have any problems, you can ask Yun-Er for help. He will help you. After saying that, Lin Rei walked to the side and gave up his position to Longji, so that he could get rid of the obstacles in his heart. Step by step, Longji walked to Xueqi's side. The hatred in his eyes instantly rushed out of his body. He instantly released his immortal monarch cultivation, and tightly grasped the heavenly halberd in his hand. Xueqi, have you ever thought that this day would come for you? However, I'm not like you. I know that you're suffering right now. I won't torture you. I'll give you a quick death. Even if you didn't bully my mother. Thank you. Thank you. Hearing Longji's words, Xueqi didn't feel resentful or angry. Instead, he smiled and said to Longji before closing his eyes and waiting for death to come. Sigh. When Lin Rei saw this scene, he didn't say anything. Instead, he sighed and didn't look at him anymore. Peff. A terrifying sound pierced through the air. Just as Longji was ready, the heavenly halberd was instantly aimed at Xueqi's heart. In the end, Xueqi ended up dead. Moreover, he died in the hands of the person he had always humiliated and ridiculed. With a plop, Longji knelt on the ground after killing Xueqi. Tears flowed down his cheeks. Everything is over. Everything is over. Mother, wait for me. Wait for me to come back and pick you up. Suddenly, just as Linli and Longji were silent, a series of miserable screams rang out from nearby. At this moment, a life and death battle had already begun within the restriction. Everyone's eyes were filled with bestiality. In their eyes, there was only survival and themselves. Looking at this ugly scene, Lin Rei's eyes were filled with coldness. Originally, he wanted to keep one of them alive to inform the White Elephant Empire. But now, for Long Ji, there was no need for that. If that's the case, then there's no need for you to keep them alive. However, you injured my son. This is unforgivable. After making up his mind, Lin Rei instantly activated the Azura Spear art. Rings of red energy surrounded the 100 people within the restriction. Azura Soul Devouring. In an instant, the Azura Spear art's first move, Soul Devouring, was activated. A terrifying energy that could devour souls entered the Dan Palace of the 100 people within the restriction, and began to devour their souls bit by bit. Screams came from within the restriction. At this moment, the restriction was completely surrounded by red energy. It was impossible to see what was happening inside. However, just listening to the screams was enough to make one's heart tremble. If they really saw what was happening inside the restriction, they would probably have nightmares for the rest of their lives. Lin Rei didn't do anything to ease the restriction. Instead, he allowed it to devour the souls of the 100 cultivators. Divine Soul, in its beautiful name, was cultivated by every cultivator. Humans had souls, but cultivators cultivated their divine souls. Divine Soul was the foundation of a cultivator. If the divine soul was destroyed, it would completely disappear from this world, never to be reincarnated. Time passed by slowly. Finally, after half an hour, there were no more screams coming from within the restriction. Lin Rei then kept the chaotic dragon spear back into the system. This little episode is over. Let's go back and see how Yun is doing. He didn't have the chance to talk to the people in the restriction. Instead, he said something to Long Ji and flew towards the Lin family in Heavenly Blessing Village. He didn't dare to disobey Lin Rei's orders. Immediately, he chased after Lin Rei. The moment they left, the restriction disappeared. The 100 corpses lost their souls and the power of the restriction. They instantly fell from the sky. Everyone had a painful expression on their faces. Everyone was covered in wounds. It wasn't clear whether they were caused by themselves or by others. The whole situation was too horrible to look at. At this moment, at the entrance of the Lin family, Lin Rei landed with Long Ji. Looking at Lin Yun, who was still recovering, Lin Rei's eyes flashed with tears. Fortunately, he controlled them well and didn't let them fall. How is it? Is Yun all right? Lu Ying asked Lin Yun's condition. His voice trembled slightly and he looked nervous. Lu Ying felt an inexplicable pain in her heart. She then told him about Lin Yun's current condition. He's fine. Don't worry, husband. If there are no accidents, Yun will be able to break through to the immortal monarch realm today. What? Break through? Hearing his wife's words, Lin Rei's face lit up. The fear in his heart disappeared. Yes, Yun was already on the verge of breaking through. After going through this battle, Yun-er's fighting spirit was completely stimulated. Therefore, a breakthrough is inevitable. After knowing that his son was fine, Lin Rei's heart dropped. He then looked at Lu Ying. His eyes filled with tenderness. Ying, since our son is fine, should we still continue with our marriage? We've already reached the last step. Because everyone present, except for Tian Zhongxi, wasn't a cultivator, everyone heard Lin Rei's words. Pft! A bell-like laughter rang out. Instantly, everyone's gaze turned to the person who had laughed. At this moment, Liao Yu, who was standing beside Tian Zhongxi, smiled without hiding anything. Big brother from the Lin family. Then I, big brother C, won't disturb your wedding night. After knowing Lin Rei's intention, Liao Yu didn't have to stay. After saying that, she gave her husband a look. However, her husband seemed to be in a daze and ignored Liao Yu's look. Brother, I'm also worried about Yun-er's current situation. Why don't I stay and accompany you? Upon hearing Tian Zhongxi's words, everyone was speechless. However, Lin Rei looked grateful. He knew that Tian Zhongxi meant well. Big brother Tian, don't worry. Yun-er will be fine. Look, it's already so late. You should go back as a sister-in-law. My son is already so big, so you should work hard too. Perhaps we can even become in-laws. As Lin Rei spoke, he chuckled and looked at his wife, Lu Ying. Instantly, Lu Ying's cheeks flushed red. Humph, what nonsense. Although Lu Ying said that, she agreed with what Tian Zhongxi said. She knew Tian Zhongxi's character. If they could really become in-laws, perhaps this wasn't a bad idea. Actually, I don't know why, but I just like you a lot. Lin Rei didn't tell the whole reason for this because a small part of it was because of the mission, but the main reason was that he really did like Lu Ying. After such a long time, Lin Rei realized that he gradually fell in love with Lu Ying, but he didn't show it. At this time, the mission from the system was like a needle that pierced through the barrier between him and Lu Ying, and it naturally led to the current situation. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Lu Ying's face lit up and she didn't ask any more questions. Instead, she turned from Lin Rei to the side and quietly closed her eyes to sleep. When Lin Rei noticed Lu Ying's current state, he stood face to face with her and stroked her silky hair. Then, he kissed her on the cheek and sat up from the bed. And entirely put on her clothes, casually washed up, and walked out of the room. As soon as she stepped out of the room, Lin Yun was still meditating at the door, not moving an inch. As for Long Ji, he was also staring around tirelessly. Haha. Looking at this scene, Lin Rei didn't disturb them. He teleported to the spirit field at the back of the mountain and sat under a tree with his eyes closed like before. Little dragon, come out quickly. I have something to ask you. At this moment, Lin Rei shouted into the air in the system. His voice was so loud that the entire system could hear him. No one answered. There wasn't a single sound from the system. Lin Rei was very confused about this. If it were a normal situation like yesterday, Little Dragon would definitely stand out and scold Lin Rei or even point at his nose to teach him a lesson. However, Little Dragon didn't appear yesterday. Little Dragon, don't scare me. Where are you? Come out. Little Dragon still didn't answer. Instantly, Lin Rei had a bad feeling in his heart. He anxiously shouted into the system. A sense of loss instantly surged in his heart. Lin Rei looked at the empty pitch-black space and his heart was empty. He even recalled the scene when Little Dragon scolded him. Haha, what a bitch. Clearly, no one would scold you if Little Dragon wasn't around. I didn't expect you to suddenly disappear. I even miss you a little. Sigh. Lying in the system, he lifted his head and looked at the endless pitch-black sky. Tears welled up in his eyes. Ding dong. Congratulations on completing the first mission. You and Lu Ying have become Dao companions and have a successful dual cultivation. Damn. The sudden voice startled Lin Rei, who was immersed in his memories. He immediately cursed. Ding dong. Congratulations on completing the mission. You have successfully activated the martial arts arena and received 1.5 billion experience points. Damn, is this for real? Lin Rei returned to his senses and after hearing the news, he felt that it was unreal. He immediately pinched his thigh. Ah, Lin Rei let out a blood-curdling scream. However, there wasn't a trace of pain on his face. Apart from excitement, there was only desire. Ha ha ha. I'm rich. After knowing that what he heard wasn't a dream, Lin Rei excitedly shouted into the sky. His tone was filled with excitement and joy, but there was also a trace of disappointment. Ding dong. Congratulations on activating the first level of the martial arts arena, Spirit Gathering Array. The cold, mechanical voice sounded again. In an instant, Lin Rei froze on the spot. His previous excitement disappeared. What, Spirit Gathering Array? Hearing the system's words, Lin Rei really wanted to tear it apart. Lin Rei couldn't be more familiar with the Spirit Gathering Array. Spirit Gathering Array. Within the array, an Imperial Array Master could create more than one high-level Spirit Gathering Array. At this moment, Lin Rei was an Emperor Array. When he heard that the martial arts arena was a gigantic Spirit Gathering Array, Lin Rei froze on the spot. His eyes were filled with mockery. Humph! A cold snort sounded. Instantly, Lin Rei stood quietly on the spot. He didn't move. The disrespect in his eyes completely disappeared. Humph, this is how it is. You have to use your strength to oppress me. How immoral. At this moment, Lin Rei really wanted to say what he was thinking. Unfortunately, due to the system's strength, Lin Rei didn't dare to say anything. However, when the system said that the spirit gathering array was for public use, Lin Rei was dumbfounded. His heart was filled with guilt. Humph, what do you know? How can this spirit gathering array be compared to the spirit gathering array you're familiar with? It's like an ant. A voice that made Linley excited suddenly rang out. Instantly, Linley's heart leapt with joy. Turning around, he saw that not too far in front of him, there was an extremely handsome man who was as tall as Linley. He had an obedient smile on his face, and Linley couldn't help but want to beat him up. However, when he saw the young man again, Lin Rei's eyes were filled with disappointment. He originally thought that it was the little dragon. He didn't expect that it wasn't. However, he was still very curious. To be able to appear in the system, he definitely wasn't an ordinary person. Immediately, Lin Rei politely said to the young man, "I am Lin Rei, the owner of this system. Little brother, may I know who you are?" There was no sound. After Lin Rei finished speaking, the young man only knew how to laugh foolishly, as if he was watching a joke. Looking at him, Lin Rei really wanted to go up and beat him up. However, he restrained himself. Who knew if this was a super strong person? Just like the system. If that was the case, then the loss would outweigh the gain and he would also lose face. "I say, you." Just when Lin Rei was about to introduce himself again, the young man opened his mouth. The voice was the little dragon's, but the body was indeed the body of a young man. "Hee hee boy, how long has it been since we last met? Don't you recognize me?" "You are?" For a moment, Lin Rei was stunned. He didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Looking at the young man in front of him, a familiar feeling welled up in his heart. Little dragon? Finally, a short figure appeared in his mind. He called out to the young man in a probing tone. "Ha ha ha boy, you finally recognize me. Do you know that you make me very sad?" "Damn, it's really you." After confirming that the young man was the little dragon, he didn't say anything else. He directly walked to the young man's side and hugged the little dragon. Tears of joy welled up in his eyes. "Hee hee, I knew it. Good people don't live long, but bad people live for 1,000 years. I knew that a bad person like you wouldn't disappear so easily. You scared me to death." Hugging the little dragon, Lin Rei scolded and ridiculed. The speaker had no intention, but the listener had a heart. Being hugged by Lin Rei, the little dragon's heart was filled with warmth. As the saying goes, it's impolite not to reciprocate. Listening to Lin Rei's ridicule and abuse, the little dragon was unwilling to fall behind. He immediately reprimanded Lin Rei. Just like that, the two of them separated for a long time. "Humph, the system has already told me everything about you. Tell me, why are you always so worrisome? Can you not let me worry so much? I've only left for a while, and you've already caused such a big mess for me." Chapter 458. Hee hee, that was an emergency and I didn't have time to think about it. Sigh, forget it. Let's not talk about me. You should tell me about the training field that just opened. Hearing Little Dragon's words, Lin Rei's face turned red. He was a little embarrassed and quickly changed the topic. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Little Dragon stopped talking nonsense and began to talk about the spirit gathering formation in the training field. The first level of the martial arts practice field is just like what you've heard. It's a huge energy gathering array. But don't compare the energy gathering array in the martial arts practice field with the energy gathering array you've learned. What? Hearing Little Dragon's words, Lin Rei was a little confused. He didn't understand Little Dragon's meaning and couldn't help but ask. What's the difference? Aren't they both spirit gathering formations? Why? Did this spirit gathering formation grow legs or something? Hee hee, calling you a country bumpkin is not wrong at all. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Little Dragon's face was full of wry and helplessness. This spirit gathering formation doesn't absorb ordinary spiritual energy. It absorbs chaos chi. This kind of spiritual energy is very grateful. So, you've picked up a treasure this time, you know? At this point, Little Dragon's face was full of smiles, as if this training field was very impressive. However, he knew quite a lot about the Chaos Chi that Little Dragon mentioned. Chaos Chi. Isn't it the spiritual energy at the beginning of the world? But why would this kind of spiritual energy appear in the system? Moreover, how can I absorb this kind of spiritual energy at my current level? You're not that stupid, kid. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Little Dragon hurriedly said. However, if you were an ordinary person, you would only explode and die from the Chaos Chi. But when you were in the Foundation Establishment stage, you already used the Chaos Chi to condense your Sea of Chi. So, there's no problem for you to absorb the Chaos Chi. Moreover, don't you have the Devouring Heaven art? You can use the Devouring Heaven art to convert it into immortal spiritual energy. If I had known earlier, the amount of immortal Chi converted from a strand of primal Chaos Chi would be enormous. At that time, your cultivation speed would be greatly increased. The more Lin Rei listened to the little dragon's words, the more excited he became. The thought of being able to absorb the chaos energy and quickly raise his cultivation base made him so excited that he wanted to start cultivating immediately. Alright, you should cultivate later. The system has just activated the martial arts practice field, so there's no rush to cultivate. The most important thing for you now is to take care of yourself. This time, you should understand that your cultivation base has skyrocketed. Therefore, you must not use any cultivation base in the following period of time. The pressure of heaven and earth, this. Feeling the abnormality of the pressure, Lin Rei raised his head and looked in the direction of the pressure. Instantly, Lin Rei smiled. Haha, looks like Yun is starting to break through. This was the only thing Lin Rei could think of because Lu Ying had said that Lin Yun would break through in one day. Now that the tribulation clouds had appeared above Heavenly Fortune Village, Lin Rei really couldn't think of anyone else other than Lin Yun. He stood up and teleported, instantly arriving at the entrance of the Lin family in Heavenly Fortune Village. At this moment, Lu Ying and Long Ji were already standing at the entrance, looking up at the sky. However, the difference was that Lu Ying didn't look worried at all while Long Ji looked extremely worried. The moment Lin Rei appeared, the two of them turned to look at him. Husband Yun hearing his newlywed wife's words, Lin Rei didn't wait for her to finish speaking before he said, I know about Yun situation. You can go back first. With that, Lin Rei walked over to Lu Ying's side and pulled him into his arms. He walked step by step into the room, placed him on the bed, and covered him with a blanket. He then spoke gently, Don't worry about this. Don't worry about this matter. You worked hard last night. Leave the rest to me. The moment he said this, Lu Ying, who was lying on the bed calmly, suddenly blushed when he heard what her husband said. He hurriedly covered his blushing face with the blanket. Seeing such an adorable wife, Lin Rei felt very satisfied. He then smiled and walked out of the room. When he reached the door, he looked up at the sky and observed his son's situation. In the room, the moment Lin Rei walked out, Lu Ying crawled out from under the blanket and followed Lin Rei's instructions. He closed his eyes and fell asleep. Boom, kacha, boom, kacha. Dark clouds loomed over the city, threatening to destroy it. At this moment, the rumbling of thunder was deafening. Not only Lin Rei, but everyone in Heavenly Fortune Village also sensed the strange phenomenon and walked out of their rooms one by one. Wah, uncle, look, there's a person in the sky. Shoo, don't talk. That's an immortal. An immortal is going through the tribulation clouds. It's not hard for us to disturb him. That's right, at this moment, everyone in the village was looking at everything with admiration. They had always respected cultivators. As members of the immortal world, they all knew the law of the jungle, survival of the fittest, and the law of the jungle. Therefore, when they saw the cultivator going through the tribulation clouds in the sky, they couldn't help but feel reverence in their hearts. Boom, boom, kacha. While everyone was worshipping Lin Yun, a bolt of lightning seemed to break through its shackles as it charged towards Lin Yun, who was standing under the clouds. At this moment, everyone's hearts were in their throats. Everyone was very nervous. Only Lin Yun's father, Lin Rei, seemed to have nothing to do with Lin Yun, who was going through the tribulation clouds. He wasn't nervous at all. Instead, he had a smile on his face. The bolt of lightning that broke through the clouds followed the momentum and aimed at Lin Yun. It carried a majestic pressure and an aura that could destroy the world as it rushed towards Lin Yun. Humph, come on. Let me see what you're capable of. Looking at the fleeting tribulation clouds, Lin Yun didn't have a trace of fear. Instead, he faced it with a smile. The martial Emperor Divine Spear in his hand seemed to have sensed the provocation from the tribulation clouds. Immediately, the sound of the spear rang out and a cold light shone out. Haha, are you waiting for too long? But it doesn't matter. In a while, we'll pierce through the clouds and let him know that you're not someone he can afford to offend. At this moment, if Lin Rei heard what he said, he believed that Lin Rei would be dumbfounded instead of gratified. After all, even when he was young and frivolous, he didn't dare to say such arrogant words. Silent Thunder Spear Art. First move, Plunder. Seeing that the tribulation clouds were getting closer and closer to him, the martial Emperor Divine Spear in Lin Yun's hand suddenly moved. A terrifying bolt of lightning shot out from the martial Emperor Divine Spear, and a shocking long spear rushed towards the bolt of lightning falling from the clouds. The two attacks formed a pressure that was evenly matched. It seemed that no one was willing to give in to the other. Just at this moment, the two attacks collided. Boom! An earth-shattering sound came from the sky, and the aftermath of the energy rushed out in an instant. Lin Yun, who was not far away, was caught off guard by the aftermath of the collision. He was sent 100 meters away by the aftermath before he could stop with difficulty. Ha! I didn't expect the aftermath to be so sad. At this moment, Lin Yun, who was sent 100 meters away by the aftermath, was shocked and shocked. He didn't expect this situation at all. Although he was shocked, he was more excited and had a soaring fighting spirit. Lin Yun was very excited about such an attack. Come on, let me see what you're capable of. Let's see if your attack or my martial technique is more powerful. Chapter 459. Whoosh! Holding the martial Emperor Divine Spear in his hand, the arrogant Lin Yun dashed into the thunderclouds regardless of the consequences. Yun, Linli, who was looking up at Lin Yun, wanted to stop him after realizing what his son was doing, but it was too late. Lin Yun had already entered the thundercloud. An instant. Just an instant. Staring at the rolling clouds of tribulation lightning, Linli's heart grew cold. Although he knew that his son was not afraid of this kind of thunder tribulation, the thunderclouds were no joke. Even he had not tried it before. Long Ji, who had been standing at the side, was also shocked when he saw this. He knelt on the ground and did not say a word. At this moment, the village was silent. No one was willing to talk, especially Lin Rei. He did not know what to do, but he knew that the only thing he could do for his son was to pray. He prayed that his son would not be fatally injured in the thunderclouds. This was the only thing he could do at this moment. Boom! Kacha! Kacha! Thunder rumbled from the thunderclouds. The sound of thunder was terrifying. Except for the thunderclouds, the other places were still very bright and the sun was hanging high in the sky. Time passed little by little, and the thunderclouds were still there. Lin Rei was getting more and more anxious. For Lin Rei, who only had one son left, Lin Yun was his life. Lin Rei would rather be the one entering the thunderclouds than see his son get hurt. Ding dong, Thunder Tribulation Physique Refining Method, Green Lotus Pod, Black Water, a cultivator with thunder spiritual roots, a strong blood chi, the refining method, the Flame Dragon Fire Controlling Hand, and the Reconstruction Pill. The refining method will take 49 days to complete. This time, Thunder Tribulation Physique will be born. Ding dong, Thunder Tribulation Physique. Thunder Tribulation Physique appears. The warrior is invincible. The sudden voice of the system stunned him. Hearing the system's words, Linli couldn't help but raise his head to look at his son, Yu Chi Lei Yun. His heart skipped a beat. Thunder Tribulation Physique. Does the system want me to refine my son into a Thunder Tribulation Physique? Lin Rei was very puzzled. If he followed the system's instructions and used the refining technique to refine it, wouldn't that be the same as refining his son into a spiritual weapon? How would he carry on the family line in the future? Ding dong, the Thunder Tribulation Physique is a postnatal physique. Once you cultivate it, you will be fine. Otherwise, you will die and never be able to reincarnate. Perhaps the system knew what Lin Rei was worried about. While Lin Rei was thinking, the system spoke. For a moment, Lin Rei was stunned. His heart was in turmoil. Although he had the system's words, Lin Li was still unsure of his refining technique. Although he had learned the Flame Dragon fire control technique, he hadn't used it in a long time. He was a bit rusty. In addition, there was only one azure sky canopy. If he failed, the elixir would be nothing, but his son would have no hope. Boom! Crack! Just as Lin Rei was hesitating, something happened in the thunderclouds in the sky. Thunder resounded through the sky. Instantly, Lin Rei was awakened by the sound of thunder. Instantly, his mind became much clearer. Forget it. Let's take a gamble. No matter what, I can't watch Yun be drowned by the thunderclouds. Anyway, he will die. If I succeed, it will be a great help to Yun's cultivation in the future. At this moment, Lin Li had already made up his mind. He was going to use the mysterious systems method. After thinking about it for a long time, he felt that this was the only way his son would have a chance at survival. If he didn't, he might really die. Lin Rei didn't speak nonsense. He wanted to ask the system for help for such a big matter, but before he could say anything, the system's cold voice sounded in Lin Rei's ears. Don't even think about it. I can't help you. If you continue to rely on the system like this, you won't be able to do anything in the future. So, the system has set a rule. In the future, no matter if it's the system or the little dragon, they will provide you with the method. As for how to deal with it, the host will have to do it himself. Helplessly, although Lin Rei was a little angry when he heard the system's words, Lin Rei didn't have any intention to refute it. He was right, and Lin Li thought the same. If a person's strength was based on things like the system, then such a cultivator would find it difficult to move forward in the future. The only way to make oneself strong was to make oneself strong enough to protect the things or people that one wanted to protect. Only someone like Lin Li would be the most realistic way to make oneself strong enough to protect the things and people that one wanted to protect. Immediately, Lin Rei didn't ask for the system's help. Instead, he soared into the sky and arrived below the thunderclouds in an instant. Son, bear with it. Trust me. Trust me. I will definitely get you out of there. As he spoke, he still had a distressed look on his face. However, his expression suddenly changed. Just you wait. When you come out, I will skin you alive. I will let you know what you are capable of. How dare you barge into the thunderclouds? As he spoke, Lin Rei's consciousness entered his storage ring and took out the things that he had prepared this time. Except for the thunder spirit root, which he already had, he had everything else. Phew! Looking at the thunderclouds in the sky, Lin Rei took a deep breath. Then, his expression became calm. With a raise of his hand, a natural force of heaven and earth appeared. The Yen Dragon Fire Control Hand was instantly activated. At the same time, the illusory spirit blood fire was naturally indispensable. In an instant, fiery red palm prints appeared and blasted towards the thunderclouds above. Boom! 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 One by one, the fiery red palm prints slammed into the thunderclouds. Suddenly, the thunderclouds showed signs of weakness. Haha, it is indeed useful. Fortunately, the little dragon forced me to learn the Yen Dragon Fire Control Hand. Otherwise, I would have been blind today. Seeing how weak the thunderclouds were, Lin Li hurriedly activated his Immortal Emperor cultivation and the Primal Chaos Scripture. At the same time, the Devour Heaven's Will was activated as well. At the same time, the surrounding thunderclouds emitted energy to replenish the energy he had lost. Palm after palm, red palm prints continuously slammed into the thunderclouds. The thunderclouds, which were originally 100 miles in radius, were now being compressed bit by bit under the pressure of Lin Rei's Yen Dragon Fire Control Hand. Moreover, what was unbelievable was that the thunderclouds were shrinking faster and faster. In the end, it was so fast that it was pitiful to the naked eye. In this regard, if other cultivators were to witness this, they would definitely be recorded in the scripture. It would even overturn all the common sense that they had ever cultivated. As the thunderclouds continued to shrink, Lin Rei became more and more nervous. He still did not know if he could save his son. Okay, now is the time. Add the green lotus seed and so on. Add the black water every 15 minutes. Finally, add the remolding pill. Then, use the illusory spirit blood fire to refine it. The system's words came out of the blue. However, Lin Rei liked it very much. As soon as the system finished speaking, Lin Rei did not hesitate. In an instant, he used the green lotus seed that he had prepared beforehand and threw it directly into the thunderclouds that had shrunk to a radius of 1,000 meters. Sizzle! As soon as the green lotus seed entered the thunderclouds, the sizzling sound of thunder made everyone's scalp tingle. Boom! Increase it! In an instant, the intensity of the fire exploded several times before it stopped. Lin Rei roared angrily. His eyes were full of worry. As time passed, Lin Rei followed the system's instructions and added the black water and the remolding pill after 15 minutes. When all the materials for the Thunder Calamity Constitution were used up, Lin Rei could finally breathe a sigh of relief. The worry in his heart was relieved. Well, not bad. You used the storytelling technique. I believe that after this, your refining realm and alchemy realm will be greatly improved. Originally, Lin Rei was beginning to relax when he saw that only the illusory spirit blood fire was left to refine. When he heard the system's words, he felt proud. However, the system's voice came again. However, don't think that this is all. Although the materials have been used up, these are just appetizers. You should know that the Thunder Calamity Constitution is second only to the Tendo Constitution. Although it is not as powerful as you, the Supreme Hongmeng, it is still a constitution that is hard to come by in 10,000 years. Even in the immortal realm, there are not many people like me, because they do not dare to take the risk. Stunned, Lin Rei was completely stunned. According to the system's words, it seemed that he had been tricked again, and this time it was not a small trap. What do you mean? Although he did not know what the system meant, he could tell that his son would not be in danger. Nothing. I just want your son to be able to take charge of things alone, and you can be at ease to do your own things. As long as one was not a fool, one would know the meaning of the system's words, especially Lin Rei. When he heard the system's words, he knew that it wanted him to quickly solve the matter here, and then concentrate on breaking through his cultivation base, and finally leave the immortal realm and go to the divine realm. Thinking of this, Lin Rei felt helpless. He did not expect the system to be more shameless than the little dragon. However, there was nothing he could do about it. Who asked the system to be so awesome? Well, tell me, what else do I need to do to ensure my son's safety? As long as you say it, I will do as you say. From now on, I will work hard to cultivate, and strive to break through the immortal realm as soon as possible, and then go to the divine realm to complete the task. Wait, this is what you said. I did not say anything. Don't associate this matter with me. As soon as the words came out, Lin Rei felt like vomiting blood. He did not expect the system to be so shameless. However, since you said so, then tell me if I don't agree, wouldn't it be too inconsiderate of me? So, I agree to your request. At this point, Lin Rei did not have any meaning to say anything else, so he chose to remain silent and wait for the system to finish. Actually, the Thunder Calamity body still needs a lot of important materials, and what you just said is just the appetizer of the Thunder Calamity body. Otherwise, why would the Thunder Calamity body be called a warrior race? Chapter 460. Without waiting for Lin Rei's response, a flash of brilliance suddenly appeared in front of him. A shocking amount of spiritual energy was floating in the air. Lin Rei was dumbfounded when he saw the sudden appearance of these things. He recognized a few of them, but he didn't recognize any of the others. Moreover, he had never seen or heard of them before. Sky Qilin grass, thunderstruck wood, heavenly hammer stone. One by one, Lin Rei was shocked by the appearance of these things. For a moment, Lin Rei was stunned in the air. He didn't move at all, as if he was a fool. The things here were like the thunderstruck wood. This thunderstruck wood was an extraordinary item. It was a 10,000-year-old ancient spiritual tree. It was carelessly struck by the lightning tribulation, but it didn't die. Instead, it gave birth to a new powerful creature. If this kind of heavenly treasure appeared in the world, it would cause the entire immortal world, oh no, even the god world, to go crazy. Lin Rei dared to guarantee that this kind of heavenly treasure could not only be used by cultivators in the immortal world, but also by cultivators in the god world. Moreover, it was said that there was a kind of pill that used the creature born from the thunderstruck wood to refine, a kind of spirit-seizing pill. Even the God Emperor of the God world would benefit greatly from it. It could even increase his cultivation. Moreover, Lin Rei was so excited that he couldn't control himself when he saw these heavenly treasures that could make the whole of Hongmeng go crazy appear in front of him. Hee, wipe your saliva. These things are all for your precious son to forge a thunder tribulation body. Not one of them can be missing. The system's voice suddenly sounded. Immediately, Lin Rei unconsciously wiped the saliva from the corner of his mouth. Then he said seriously, "Humph, even if you didn't say it, I wouldn't do it. Moreover, aren't these things very precious?" Lin Rei didn't believe what he said at this moment. However, for the sake of face, what was this? All right. You can say whatever you want. I don't care. However, in the following period of time, you must circulate your cultivation method and devour at the same time. Furthermore, in the following days, you must constantly devour things to recover your spiritual qi. Therefore, once this weapon technique starts, you cannot stop. The system's words made Lin Rei's heart skip a beat. However, when he remembered that his son's life was still uncertain, Lin Rei couldn't care less. All right, I'll listen to you. As long as my son can survive, I, Lin Rei, swear that I won't come out of seclusion until I break through to the immortal venerable realm and ascend to the divine world. His expression was resolute when he said this, and Lin Rei's words were exactly what the system wanted to hear. Okay, remember what you said. Then let's begin. This is the last benefit I'm going to give you. You have to cherish it. And then the entire world fell silent. One glowing natural treasure after another began to hover around Linley. Heavenly Time Pearl, Water of Forgetfulness, Eye of the Heavens. Just like that, the real mission of refining the Thunder Calamity physique began. This time, the system was always by Lin Rei's side, hoping that Lin Rei would make a mistake in the refining process and cause him to die in the thunderclouds. Lin Rei grabbed the heavenly treasures one by one and threw them into the thunderclouds according to the time he was given. Time passed by slowly, and in the blink of an eye, a month had quietly passed. During this month, Linley didn't dare to slack off in the slightest. He didn't even dare to pause in his training of the two techniques. On the second day after Lin Rei started refining the Thunder Calamity physique, Lu Ying walked out of the room. After seeing Lin Rei's situation, he went to protect Lin Rei and didn't let anything disturb him. As for the villagers of Heavenly Blessing Village, they all knew about Lin Rei's situation. Regarding this, the village chief of Heavenly Blessing Village was so scared that he lay in bed for a few days after making things difficult for Lin Rei. Then, he went to Lin Rei's door and waited for Lin Rei to apologize. As for the others, they were already numb. After watching for a few days, they went back to their own things. However, the one who suffered the most during the entire process was Lin Rei. The immortal qi in his body was depleted time and time again, but he kept circulating the devouring heaven execution to replenish it. Because of this, Lin Rei's spirit meridians were slightly damaged. However, there were still benefits. On the 20th day of refining, his cultivation broke through from the peak of the early stage Immortal Emperor realm to the mid-stage Immortal Emperor realm. However, all the credit was due to the billions of experience from before. Otherwise, Lin Rei might not have been able to break through. A month slowly passed like this. There were still 19 days until the Thunder Calamity physique appeared. The closer it got, the more difficult it became. Huff, huff, huff. Rapid panting sounds came from Lin Rei's mouth. It was as if he could see through the thunderclouds. His murderous gaze made people's hearts palpitate. Brat, when you come out and see if I don't beat your ass up. This time, I'll let you know how powerful I am. Let's see if you still dare to mess around in the future. However, although he said this, the illusory spirit blood fire in his hand did not stop. Instead, it was still growing. Hee, you're so stubborn. You're obviously worried to death, but you're still saying these words. Don't you feel bored? For the system who had been observing all this, it knew Lin Rei's mood very well. Stop talking. Let's see how long it will take. Don't tell me there's really 19 days left. At this moment, Lin Rei was really helpless. He had been meditating for another month. Although it could increase his cultivation, his spirit meridians were in pain. This pain was still bearable for a short period of time, but it would be unbearable for a long time. Soon. According to your speed, you have 7 days at most. Just 7 days and you'll be done. Hearing the system's words, Lin Rei's face lit up. However, before Lin Rei could rejoice, a but sound was heard. However, if your fire is unstable halfway through, then it's hard to say. You know, your fire is very strong. If you're not careful, then it's hard to say. It might take longer. After the system said this, Lin Rei did not speak anymore. He just waited quietly. The illusory spirit blood fire in his hand grew stronger and stronger. With the system's guidance, the day of the thunder tribulation was getting closer and closer. Lin Rei was indeed getting more and more nervous. 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, the 7th day today, was the day the system said the thunder tribulation would appear. However, Lin Rei did not feel it at all. There was not even the slightest sign of it appearing. Generally speaking, when an anomaly appeared in the world, there should be a vision. But now, although there were still thunderclouds in the sky, there was no pressure from heaven and earth. The illusory spirit blood fire did not stop. It was refined from day to night. However, there was still no movement from the thunderclouds in the sky. Suddenly, Lin Rei panicked. Hey, didn't you say that my son would be born today? What's the situation now? Why is there no movement at all? Is what you said true? Lin Rei roared in his heart. His face was extremely ferocious. Lu Ying, who had been protecting him, was shocked when he saw Lin Rei's appearance. There was no sound. At this moment, Lin Rei felt like he was hitting cotton. He had no strength at all. Lin Rei could do nothing about it. It's done. The sudden voice startled Lin Rei. He lifted his head and looked at the thunderclouds in the sky. His heart was filled with excitement. The person who spoke just now was the cold voice of the system. Kacha. 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 A sound that sounded like an eggshell cracking suddenly rang out. At this moment, the thundercloud was cracking bit by bit, just like how an egg would crack open. Bzzz. Inside the thunderclouds, there was thunder and lightning that made one's heart tremble. This kind of thunder and lightning made one feel a sense of destruction and a vague desire to purify one's soul. Even Lin Rei had the same feeling when he saw it. Besides, what shocked Lin Rei the most was the pressure released from the thunderclouds. Lin Rei felt that this was not something that an immortal lord should have. As the cracks grew bigger and disappeared, the figure that Lin Rei had been waiting for finally appeared. Boom! A loud explosion was heard. The sky was filled with cracks until it couldn't take it anymore and exploded. Ah! An earth-shattering roar was heard all of a sudden. It was late at night and the villagers of the Heavenly Blessing Village were already asleep. But after this roar, all the villagers lit up their lights, put on their clothes, and went out of their houses to look at the sky. Be it the elderly, the middle-aged, the children, or the exhausted youths who worked hard during the day, all of them came to the open space and looked at the roar in the sky. Kacha! 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 Thunderous sounds were heard all of a sudden. The area within 1,000 meters was drowned in a baptism of thunder and lightning, turning into a sea of tears. Ha ha ha! Looking at this scene, the happiest person was none other than Lin Rei. What made him even more surprised was that Lin Rei had used this opportunity to break through to the peak of the early-stage Immortal Emperor realm. He could clearly sense that as long as his son wanted to break through, he could break through to the mid-stage Immortal Emperor realm at any time. Just like him. As for how he broke through, there was no need to think about it. With so many heavenly treasures absorbed by his son, as long as it wasn't a ruin, he would be able to break through no matter what. However, Lin Rei didn't expect that all the heavenly treasures would allow his son to break through to the same level as him. Haha, what's wrong? Now that your son's cultivation is at the same level as yours, don't you think you should hurry up and go into seclusion? At this moment, the system hurriedly said to Lin Rei in a provocative tone. However, Lin Rei acted as though he didn't hear the system's words and remained indifferent. He continued to chuckle as he looked at his son, who was venting his anger in the sky. Chapter 461. Time passed bit by bit. Lin Yun, who was venting his anger after breaking through, looked at his father with a smile. His eyes were filled with battle intent. When Lin Rei saw this, he was gratified by his son's reaction. However, he was also very angry. Humph, you've just broken through and you're already trying to intimidate me. You really don't know your limits. Although this was what he thought, Lin Rei didn't reject Lin Yun's request. Bang! The primal chaos dragon's spear instantly appeared in his hand. He instantly exerted his mid-stage immortal emperor cultivation. Immediately, a vigorous pressure swept out with him as the center. Ow! Ow! Suddenly, the roars of the azure dragon resounded in the heavens and earth. At the same time, a magical scene appeared. After the roars, the 9 heavens golden dragon with 9 claws appeared behind Lin Rei. It rose in all directions and stared at Lin Yun, who was filled with battle intent. It looked as if it wanted to rush up and devour him. Hiss! Lin Yun, who saw this scene, felt regret in his heart. Just a single glance from the 9 heavens golden dragon was enough to make his soul tremble, let alone his father who was controlling the 9 heavens golden dragon. However, Lin Rei wouldn't give him this opportunity. Lin Rei also wanted to test his son's Thunder Calamity physique. He wanted to see how strong the Thunder Calamity physique was. Come, let me see how strong you are after breaking through to the early stage Immortal Emperor realm. After saying this, Lin Rei didn't say anything else. He instantly held the primal chaos chi in his hand, and the 9 heavens golden dragon followed behind him and rushed towards Lin Yun. Ow! Ow! The 9 heavens golden dragons seemed to have felt Lin Yun's battle intent. They immediately separated from Lin Rei's back and swarmed towards Lin Yun. They opened their huge mouths as if they wanted to swallow Lin Yun into their stomachs. Lin Li, who had come with the dragon's soul, did not show any mercy, nor did he show any mercy to his son. In his world, there was no such thing as mercy on the battlefield. If he were to go easy on his son now, he would be finished when they met the real enemy. Silent Thunder, kill! He instantly used the Silent Thunder spear art, and a huge spear intent rushed towards Lin Yun. He didn't rely on his mid-stage Immortal Emperor cultivation. Hiss! Looking at his father's smooth movements, Lin Yun instantly reacted and teleported away, narrowly avoiding the onslaught. Phew! Lin Yun, who had retreated to the side, was terrified as he recalled the scene from before. He hadn't expected his father's attack to be so sharp and murderous that he hadn't been able to react in time. Lin Yun now knew his own limits. Haha, father, Just as Lin Yun gave up on fighting, before he could react, a spear carrying 9 dragon souls had already arrived. Lin Yun had no choice but to raise his weapon to defend himself. Bang! Bang! The sound of weapons clashing resounded through the sky. Everyone was shocked by the scene in the sky, especially Liao Yu, who had been observing the scene. I didn't expect Lin Rei's family to be so powerful. They are probably the top existences in the entire immortal world. But why haven't I heard of them before? His wife is probably a super expert as well. Thinking of this, Liao Yu couldn't help glancing at Lu Ying in the sky. However, as he was afraid that Lu Ying would tell him, he didn't look again. Instead, he focused all his attention on the battle between Lin Rei and Lin Yun. A battle between experts was something that was hard to come by in 100 years. Furthermore, it would be good if they could get something out of this battle. Cough. 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 Lin Yun, who was clashing with his weapon, looked at his father, who was filled with murderous intent. Lin Yun was stunned for a moment. He was terrified of his father's current appearance. How can this be? Father, why? Just as Lin Yun was in shock, Lin Rei's voice sounded. It was clear that Lin Rei's tone was full of reprimand, but it was more of a warning. Humph, little brat, little brat. If you don't have the ability, don't try to be brave. When others see the lightning tribulation, they try their best to avoid it. You, on the other hand, rushed into the lightning clouds. Tell me, are you stupid? As he spoke, Lin Rei attacked Lin Yun with his spear. Moreover, the speed was getting faster and faster. At first, Lin Yun was still able to withstand it, but as time passed, Lin Yun started to feel a little tired. Bang, bang. Bang! Lin Yun, who was forced back step by his father, was very depressed. He smiled bitterly in his heart. He gladly accepted his father's reprimand. Father, I was wrong. Please forgive me. Who knew that the lightning clouds would be so strong? I regretted it after entering the lightning clouds. Saying that, Lin Yun's face was full of guilt. However, Lin Rei could see that although Lin Yun was saying that he felt guilty, he believed that if he could do it again, his son would do the same thing again. Humph, this is the last time. If there is a next time, I won't care. I can save you this time, but it doesn't mean that I can save you in the future. Do you understand? I understand. Hearing that his father's tone was getting gentler, Lin Yun was relieved. He quickly nodded and replied. However, just as he finished speaking, a terrifying attack that made him feel terrified instantly arrived. He didn't even have time to react. Azura Spear Art, First Style, Absolute Kill. Bang! After a muffled sound, a figure rushed down from the sky and turned into a shadow, disappearing in an instant. Bang! On a hillside not far from the Heavenly Fortune Village, a loud sound suddenly rang out. If someone saw it again, they would definitely see a human-shaped hole in the ground. Ah! A painful roar came from the huge hole. Not long after, a figure rushed out of the huge hole and soared into the sky. Whoosh! The figure was so fast that it was hard to follow. Not long after, the figure arrived at Lin Rei's side. His face was covered in dust as he stood behind Lin Rei. Humph! This is only a warning. Moreover, I was the one who made the move this time. If this was your enemy, you would have already met the King of Hell. Looking at his son who had just returned, if no one had noticed, Lin Li's eyebrows suddenly twitched when he saw that his son had returned safe and sound. However, he quickly returned to normal, but the fervor in his eyes could not be suppressed. Let's go! After saying that, Lin Rei descended from the sky and arrived at his house. Lin Rei followed behind him. However, at this moment, Lin Yun's face was gloomy. He didn't expect that after breaking through, he wouldn't even be able to take half a move from his father. However, it was also at this moment that Lin Yun secretly swore to himself that he would work hard in his cultivation in the future. It wasn't for anything else, but to be able to take half a move from his father and to be able to fight against him for a longer period of time. Immortal Lin, I was blind before. I'm not Jin Xiang Yu. Please forgive me for my previous mistakes. After saying that, the village chief took out more than 30 silver taels from his pocket and handed it to Lin Rei. He said in a trembling voice, Immortal Lin, this is the money you gave me before. Please take it back. I only ask that you don't lower yourself to my level. Lin Rei was truly confused by the village chief's actions. However, after hearing what he said, Lin Rei understood that the village chief knew that he was a cultivator and was afraid of his revenge. That was why. Haha, village chief, you don't have to be like this. I'm really here to live in seclusion. There's nothing else. Just pretend that nothing happened. I'll continue living my normal life. You guys can continue living your normal lives. As he spoke, Lin Li stepped forward and helped the village chief to his feet. As for the money in the village chief's hands, Lin Li put it away, because he knew that if he didn't take it, the village chief definitely wouldn't let the matter rest. As expected, when the village chief saw Lin Rei keeping the money, he was instantly overjoyed. Ah yes. I'll leave now. I won't disturb Immortal Lin's life anymore. As he spoke with a strength that came from who knows where, before Lin Li could even see him clearly, the village chief disappeared from where he was, leaving Lin Li's field of vision. Haha. Looking at the place where the village chief disappeared, Lin Rei smiled bitterly and shook his head. He didn't bother with the village chief anymore. Instead, he shifted his gaze to the gentle Lu Ying under the roof. Hee, it's been hard on you these past few days. He took a step forward and instantly came to Lu Ying's side. Without another word, he pulled her into his embrace and kissed Lu Ying's face. Ah, all right, Yun Er is still watching. Lin Rei's action caused Lu Ying's face to turn red. She struggled free from Lin Rei's hand and jumped to the side as if she was escaping. She rolled her eyes at Lin Rei. For a moment, Lin Rei was speechless. In order to alleviate the awkwardness, he quickly changed the topic. He turned to Lin Yun and said, this time, you benefited from a disaster and directly skipped the immortal monarch realm to reach the emperor realm. However, because of this, your cultivation foundation has been shaken. So, you don't have to rush to break through during this period of time. You can talk about it when you've stabilized your cultivation. Also, after you've stabilized your cultivation and reached the mid-stage immortal emperor realm, I'll tell you something to be happy about. The topic changed too quickly. When Lin Yun heard his father's words, he was stunned. However, after a while, He came back to his senses and nodded in agreement. Oh, I got it. Looking at his son's appearance, Lin Rei didn't say anything else and walked into the house alone. Lin Rei's final sigh stunned Lin Yun and Lu Ying. They didn't know what it meant. Chapter 462. Time flew by in the blink of an eye, catching everyone off guard. It had been 500 years since Lin Rei helped his son refine the lightning tribulation physique. After that, Lin Rei entered the system and went into seclusion. Lin Rei's sudden seclusion caught everyone off guard, especially the newly married Lu Ying. She didn't know what to say, but she obeyed Lin Rei's decisions unconditionally. As for Lin Yun, he was filled with guilt for his father's sudden seclusion. He always thought that it was his fault and would wait for his father's return every once in a while. However, 500 years had passed and he still hadn't seen his father's shadow. He felt even more guilty about this, but it was also because of this that he worked even harder in his cultivation. Ever since that time, Lin Yun seemed to have gone crazy. He cultivated with all his might, day and night. However, he didn't give up on the spirit field at the back of the mountain for even a moment. In the 500 years of his soul, the spiritual herbs in the spirit field had become the best in the eyes of the world. Even in the immortal world, there were people who came to ask for herbs from time to time. Lin Yun would make these people exchange for something of equal value. The spiritual herbs that the Zhao brothers had destroyed were all repaired by Lin Yun after Lin Rei went into seclusion. Moreover, in these 500 years, Lin Yun would occasionally send mature spiritual herbs back to the Xuanzong sect. When he returned to the Xuanzong sect, everyone knew that Lin Rei had gone into seclusion. No one went to disturb him, but they sent a few members of the dock department to guard the surroundings of the Heavenly Fortune village. Lin Yun also gave the order that if they found anyone strange, there was no need to report it. They were to kill without mercy. After all, Lin Yun was now the leader of the dark department. In these 500 years, the entire immortal world regained its vitality. Although the major forces that were killed by the Xuanzong sect hadn't recovered yet, it was about time. A few of them were replaced by others. The original Xueqi Empire was now under the control of the White Elephant Empire. The entire immortal world was in awe of the Xuanzong sect. No one dared to show any disrespect. There were even some disciples who went to the Xuanzong sect, wanting to join the Xuanzong sect. However, after the disaster that destroyed the sect, the Xuanzong sect basically stopped recruiting people. They weren't sure if there were other sects among them. They didn't want the previous incident to happen again. Moreover, under Dong Xiaonan's control, the Xuanzong sect became stronger and stronger. All the disciples were waiting for a lot of cultivation resources. After 500 years, all the disciples improved rapidly. Originally, the Xuanzong sect only had 30 to 40 immortal emperors. After 500 years, there were nearly 1,000 immortal emperors and more than 10,000 immortal monarchs. Except for a small number who joined later, the rest were already very sad. During this period of time, Dong Xiaonan's cultivation base also gradually increased. From the original Golden Immortal Realm to the current Peak Immortal Emperor Realm, he was only one step away from breaking through the peak of the immortal world and becoming an immortal venerable. Su Bo, Murong Yu, Wang Hong, and the others had all broken through to the immortal emperor realm. Although they were all in the early immortal emperor realm, they were still considered the mainstay of the sect. As for Lin Wanyu and the others, it was needless to say. They were all carefully selected by Lin Li, and they were also verified by the system. Therefore, during this period of time, the 5 people who were originally at the Golden Immortal Realm soared all the way to the peak of the Immortal Emperor Realm. Moreover, they could vaguely sense the feeling of ascension. Of course, the one who broke through the fastest was Lin Yun. He soared all the way from the Mid-Immortal Emperor Realm. With the guidance of Lu Ying, Lin Yun broke through to the Immortal Venerable Realm in the 400th year. Until now, he was still in the early Immortal Venerable Realm. In these 500 years, many people had undergone earth-shattering changes. Some had even become experts of their own regions. At the same time, there were also people who had become street rats that everyone wanted to beat up. Lin Rei was really amazing in these 500 years. After 100 years of seclusion, he broke through to the peak Immortal Emperor Realm. Because of this, the Spirit Gathering formation in the martial arts arena was activated. In the 200th year, Lin Rei easily entered the immortal venerable realm with the help of the primal chaos chi in the spirit gathering formation. Because Lin Rei cultivated the primal chaos scripture, there were no obstacles or lightning tribulations when he broke through the barrier. Everything could be said to be natural. When he broke through to the immortal venerable realm, the mission given to Lin Rei by the system was miraculously completed. Lin Rei was very puzzled about this. Originally, he wanted to go out and have a look, but the system had shamelessly sealed the entire system. It even told Lin Rei that the seal could only be removed when he broke through to the peak immortal venerable realm and sensed the feeling of ascension. Lin Rei was depressed about this for a period of time, but after thinking it through, Lin Rei began to work hard to break through. On the 300th year of Lin Rei's cultivation, when he broke through to the intermediate immortal venerable realm, the little dragon woke up from his deep slumber. Immediately, after seeing Lin Rei's appearance and cultivation base, the little dragon quickly began to guide Lin Rei. Just like this, time ticked by. 500 years later, Lin Rei's cultivation base had broken through to the peak of late immortal venerable realm. Moreover, Lin Rei had a feeling that as long as he wanted to break through, he could break through at any time and ascend to the divine world. Of course, the most important part of this was the little dragon. Lin Rei was very grateful to the little dragon who had guided him for 200 years, because he knew that without the little dragon's guidance, he was afraid that it would take him at least 1,000 years to break through to the peak of late immortal venerable realm. In the system of the Nine Heavens Xuanzong Sect, in the spiritual gathering formation of the martial arena, the surrounding grayish qi gave people a hazy feeling. If there were any experts here, they would be able to feel that a trace of this qi was enough for them to cultivate for a few years. However, they were not fated to have such a high-grade spiritual qi. In the middle of the spiritual gathering formation, a man with fluffy hair and a face full of stubble was sitting in the middle of the formation. He looked like a savage. As the saying went, sit like a bell, stand like a pine tree and walk like the wind. At this moment, the man seemed like an ancient existence that was sitting in the middle of the formation motionlessly. It gave people a sense of dread that came from the depths of their hearts. I've finally broken through. A desolate voice was heard from the man who was sitting in the spiritual gathering formation. In an instant, he opened his eyes and a ray of light shot out, shooting towards the distance. Bang! A loud sound was heard, but the man who was sitting in the middle of the spiritual gathering formation didn't move at all. He didn't even lift his eyelids, as if this matter had nothing to do with him. F***CK. Who is this? How can you be so inconsiderate? Can't you let me sleep? Suddenly, a lazy voice that made people want to sleep was heard. Immediately, a trace of joy appeared on the man's face, but he didn't stand up. Instead, he turned his head and saw a helpless youth walking towards him. As the youth got closer and closer, Lin Rei didn't act arrogantly. Instead, he stood up and turned to face the youth. Haha, I'm sorry. I just woke up and couldn't control myself. I must have woken you up. Lin Rei apologized. Immediately, the youth was stunned. He looked at Lin Rei as if he had seen a ghost and pondered. He seemed to stop and think about something. For a moment, Lin Rei was dumbfounded. What are you looking at? Don't tell me I. Before Lin Rei could finish, the youth interrupted. You've changed. Lin Rei, you've really changed. In the past, you couldn't wait to leave. Now, you still haven't thought of leaving. Upon hearing the youth's words, Lin Rei was instantly speechless. He thought the youth was going to say something else. He didn't expect the youth to talk about this matter. Hee hee, little dragon. You should know that I'm already at the peak of the late immortal venerable realm. Besides, I can feel the call of ascension. So, if you don't give me a treasure that can conceal my cultivation base, I won't be able to leave. Initially, he thought that the little dragon had changed, but after hearing Lin Rei's words, he immediately understood that the little dragon had another request. No wonder he was like this. All right, since you're about to ascend to the divine world, I'll give you a gift for our first meeting. Having said that, a jade pendant appeared in front of Lin Rei and explained, this is the spirit concealing jade. It can cure what you said just now. You have to take care of it carefully. This thing is very precious. Even I only have one thing with me. If you lose it, it will be gone forever. Wow! Upon hearing the little dragon's introduction, Lin Rei quickly kept the jade pendant and hung it on his waist. After the matter was settled, Lin Rei packed up and was about to leave, but the system stopped him. Ding dong. Host has completed 3 of the 4 missions. There's still 1 mission left. I hope the host can start it as soon as possible. Alright, there's still 50 years left. If the host hasn't joined a sect in the divine world within these 50 years, I'm sorry, the system will have no choice but to erase the host without mercy. Lin Rei was dumbfounded when he heard the message. Only a fool would understand what it meant. Wasn't it obvious that the system wanted him to leave the immortal world and ascend to the divine world as soon as possible? Alright, I got it. Don't worry. Lin Rei didn't refute. At this moment, he had already gotten used to the system. So, Lin Rei didn't have any objections to this mission. After saying that, Lin Rei exited the system. His body instantly appeared in a very familiar and intimate room. Looking at everything around him, Lin Rei's eyes welled up with tears. I'm back. Lin Rei sighed with many indescribable emotions. He knew that during this period of time, he had completed 3 missions. This meant that he had lost a son and a daughter. So, at this moment, Lin Rei was very emotional. However, he didn't dare to appear beside them. He thought of how he treated Lin Yun before. He was afraid that his son would be a little distant to him like Lin Yun. Chapter 463. Xia. Just as Lin Rei was feeling scared, the door opened. Startled, Lin Rei turned his head and looked at the door with a trace of nervousness in his heart. The person who pushed the door open was a very beautiful woman. She was as beautiful as a celestial fairy, but her chi was extremely cold and unsmiling. Anyone who saw her couldn't help but want to run away. Looking at this beautiful woman, Lin Li's heart skipped a beat. A sense of familiarity welled up in his heart. Although this woman's aura made it difficult for others to approach her, when Lin Li felt this sense of familiarity, he couldn't help but want to go up and hug this woman whom he had never met before. Although he couldn't control his body, his rationality defeated his will. Lin Rei stared at the woman who came in and went forward to inquire about the situation. Similarly, the woman who had just pushed the door open also sensed his gaze. She was also puzzled by the man who had suddenly appeared. She wanted to go up and ask him, but she could not sense any sort of cultivation or presence from him. The woman stopped in her tracks and looked at the man who was about to walk towards her with a wary expression. At this moment, she was ready to fight at any time. One of her hands had already formed an incantation gesture. Her magical weapon was on standby. As soon as the incantation gesture was activated, the weapon would rush out and kill without hesitation. Lin Rei understood the woman's actions very well. After breaking through to the peak immortal venerable realm, Lin Rei basically didn't need to use his spiritual sense to sense everything around him. He ignored her because he knew that even if she used her cultivation base, he wouldn't attack her. How could a Tai true immortal cultivator injure the body of a peak supreme immortal weapon? Step by step, Lin Rei came to the front of the woman and asked with a gentle smile. "Little girl, may I ask why are you here? Where's your family? Is Lin Yun here?" Lin Rei's question stunned the girl. When she heard Lin Yun's name, she had basically let down her guard, because the current Lin Yun wasn't an ordinary person. Everyone in the immortal world knew that Lin Yun had advanced to the immortal venerable realm. Therefore, if the two of them could say Lin Yun's name so calmly, it meant that the two of them were close friends. However, it wasn't a bad thing to be cautious. "Big brother Yun isn't here. Why are you here?" "Not here." Hearing the woman's words, Lin Rei frowned. Back then, he had told her not to go out if there was nothing important. He didn't expect that after being in seclusion for so many years, his words would fall on deaf ears. But if Lin Yun was drenched in the rain, he would definitely cry when he grew up. "Oh, it's nothing. I'm Lin Yun's friend. I came here today to look for him. Since he's not here, I'll take my leave." Although Lin Rei was somewhat familiar with the woman in front of him and couldn't help but want to get closer to her, there was no need for him to be courteous to someone he didn't know. And then as he spoke, Lin Li turned and walked out, not looking back at all. "Humph. What a strange person. If you're looking for your brother, just look for your brother. How rude of you to enter someone's house without asking for permission." Seeing Lin Li disappear, the woman no longer paid any attention to him. Instead, she entered her room and waved her hand. A gentle breeze appeared, and soon the room, which had been a bit dirty and messy, became clean and tidy. It was no different from a living room. Stop right there. If you're a human, why are you in my house? Suddenly, a familiar voice sounded. Immediately, the woman who was tidying up the room frowned. She hurriedly put down her work and rushed out of the house. Looking around, she saw the man who had just left standing in front of the door. When she saw the angry young man who was releasing his cultivation, the woman instantly wanted to stop him. However, it was all too late. In an instant, the young man rushed towards Lin Rei. His fist was covered in frost and carried an icy fist intent. He arrived in front of Lin Rei without any resistance and punched towards Lin Rei's face. On the other hand, Lin Li didn't move in the slightest, and his face was covered in frost. It just so happened that he was originally in a pretty good mood after breaking out of closed-door cultivation, yet as soon as he came out, he encountered a little bastard that was courting death. The little bastard didn't say anything before making a move against him. If it was anyone else, they would be depressed and furious. Humph. Little bastard. You've just stepped onto the path of cultivation and you don't know how high the sky is. I think you really need to be taught a lesson. Since that's the case, I'll bring your family, especially your father, to teach you a lesson. After saying that, Lin Rei moved. With a thought, the fist intent that was about to hit the young man suddenly stopped in the air. No matter how hard the young man tried, he couldn't move an inch. Pa! Ah! A crisp sound echoed throughout the heavenly fortune village. At the same time, along with a blood-curdling scream, all the people gathered around to watch the show. Pa! 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 Ignoring the young man's blood-curdling scream, a ruler appeared in Lin Rei's hand and he ruthlessly hit the young man's butt again and again. The young man could only let out a blood-curdling scream. He wanted to break free, but no matter how much strength he exerted, it was all in vain. His body was still the same as before. You. What right do you have to hit my brother? Let him go, or else my big brother Yun will kill you. At this moment, the girl who had just been frightened couldn't stay silent any longer. She stepped forward anxiously and pointed at Lin Rei as she threatened. But more than that, she was looking at her brother who was being spanked with tears in her eyes. Sure. Give me your big brother Yun first. Let me see how your big brother Yun is going to kill me. Hearing the words big brother Yun from the woman, Lin Li immediately smiled. At the same time, there was a trace of anticipation in his heart. After not seeing his son for so many years, he wanted to see just how strong his son had become. When the girl saw that her elder brother, who had broken through to the immortal venerable realm, didn't seem to scare him, she felt that this matter was getting more and more troublesome. But she also knew that her elder brother wasn't in her heart at this moment. As the saying goes, distant water can't quench a present thirst. Before Lin Yun arrived, they would be dealt with. Cold ice pricker. Suddenly, the cultivation of a Tai true immortal erupted from the girl's body. A terrifying cold chi rushed out of her body. At the same time, icicles as thick as an arm appeared in front of the girl. All the icicles were pointed at Lin Rei. Murderous intent was bursting out, as if she wanted to kill Lin Rei. However, Lin Rei couldn't be more familiar with the cold ice pricker that the girl was using. If he had known earlier, he would have given it to his wife, Lu Ying, back then. Looking at the girl's current cultivation technique and her facial features that were very similar to his wife's, a bad premonition filled his heart. It can't be so coincidental. However, things were always so coincidental. At this moment, a voice that Lin Rei was familiar with sounded. It was filled with anger. Who dares to bully my younger brother and sister in my house? I think you don't want to live anymore. As soon as the voice sounded, the girl who was about to bite the bullet suddenly gave up on attacking. She retracted her cultivation and threw herself into the arms of the person who spoke. Her voice was filled with grievance, but there was a trace of surprise in it as she complained. Elder brother, it's this person. I woke up early this morning and went to... The girl recounted the entire incident to Lin Yun. Of course, at the same time, there were some embellishments. It was unavoidable. Just like that. He fixed my younger brother in the air with a glance and used the thing in his hand to smack my younger brother's butt. What? Upon hearing this, Lin Yun was furious. He instantly unleashed his immortal venerable cultivation. At the same time, he used his spiritual energy to move all the onlookers away from the battlefield. How dare you bully the children of my Lin family? I think you don't want to live anymore. Lin Yun's voice was filled with boundless anger. However, Lin Yun hadn't seen the face of the person who started the trouble since he arrived. Ta. Step by step, Lin Yun arrived in front of Linley with his early immortal venerable cultivation base. Suddenly, a familiar and frightening face appeared in front of him. This face startled Lin Yun. Then, he couldn't help but tear up. He also retracted his lesser venerable cultivation. Sigh. It's over now. Isn't this a scam? Not to mention being beaten up, even if I cripple you, you can't complain. At the thought of this and his arrogant words, he smiled bitterly in his heart. Plop. He didn't say anything else. It was always better to kneel down first. Otherwise, he would be in trouble later. On the other hand, when the girl saw her immortal venerable brother kneel down in front of a stranger, she was shocked and looked at them in puzzlement. As for Lin Rei, he had a faint smile on his face from the beginning to the end. There wasn't any expression of admiration on his face. But this was what scared Lin Yun the most. Father, I didn't know it was you. Moreover, you didn't inform Yun when you came out of seclusion. You can't blame me, right? Boom! The moment the word father left Lin Yun's mouth, the girl who was fixed in the air heard it. Her mind went blank in an instant, as if she couldn't sense anything around her. She was in a daze. Father, this word had always been in their minds. They had always wanted to see their father, but after such a long time, their father still hadn't appeared. Who would have thought? You're tuning in to the Xueqi's Martial Arts Saga YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.